Jenkins, Gasket, Cordovan. A Willow by any other name would be just as cunning. That is to say, Willow is up to their old schemes, but this time, Luca and I aren't being kept out of the loop by our status as strangers or a Madani enforced contract. And those who travel together terrorize together. So, what does being recruited to Willow's crew look like? First thing on the agenda was to reveal Aggie's prophecy to Damon, which makes sense to me. He helped tip me off to what a slumbering tyrant was long before I read Alonzo's mind, and in general has proved his worth as a researcher. I already planned to request his services as part of our contract, so he might as well see the prophecy. You won't hear me say no to more intel, be it about my pesky little cult or my team's future challenges. But that's where things get a bit more complex. Luca rejected the offer of investigation into his portion of the prophecy, which Willow wasn't thrilled about, I bet. It's not hard to see the local chess master is trying to plan our future moves. And I agree. Our next destination is Karnath. I'd rather set foot in that place with as much information as possible, especially about our amnesia-riddled friend. However, it seems Luca has shut the door on that potential. Unfortunate, but it's not our place to dictate how he faces his past. And then there's Damon. Willow appears to suspect the prophecy actually contains a passage dedicated to the Dragon Slayer himself. The blazing blade seeks those who will carry it beyond the borders of darkness. Only a resurrection of the twisted shade can quench its selfish heart. Looking at it now, I can see where the idea comes from. A guy with a big sword and a big red coat is seeking out people who can help take him into the Mournlands, risking a bunch of strangers' lives for his twin, who's been living in a place known for creating twisted monsters. Yeah, I'd call that selfish. And yeah, I've entertained the idea his brother isn't just sitting around looking pretty while he waits for rescue. Maybe he's a monster. Maybe he's dead. Maybe he's in some kind of barely living stasis. Either way, with the Mournlands involved, the potential for a twisted shade isn't off the table. Or maybe we're seeing connections where there are none, seeing what we want to see. Damon certainly had no reaction to the passage, though I hardly trust that. But at the end of the day, does it really matter if we're connected by a hag or not? Regardless of that, we're now connected by a signed contract officially hiring us on as the mercenary company at Damon's beck and call. No, that's a bit disingenuous. It's a fair contract, legally binding, but the kind of bind I can shake off if things turn sour. Shockingly lenient with competitive rates. All in all, I've been asked to put my name on worse dotted lines, and I'd be an idiot not to take advantage of this resource while it remains in the orbit of my allies. By comparison, my contract for him is something of a joke, but no one ever accused me of being a lawyer. At the very least, I can rest assured we both agree that all hazards of the job will be discussed frankly, and that both of us have the right to refuse the other's requests, except for one non-negotiable request of mine. Keep an eye on that casino. Connections are everything, and I will not lose this opportunity to finally have a contact in Sharn. I just hope Risha doesn't tip her off while investigating my second requests. Not tip her off to my existence, there's no way Risha could do that, even if the proprietor could read minds. But just to the fact Risha is no normal customer. When you look at things, they tend to look back. If anyone is going to smell a scout, it's her. Let's cross our fingers that Risha doesn't get in trouble because of me. Let's cross our fingers that no one gets in trouble because of me. At the very least, I can rest assured that my part in Willow's Frostroot operation went by without any immediate damage done. Which brings us to the second thing on the agenda, meeting Meraldine in person. Or rather, Willow met her in person while I made myself scarce behind an innocuous face. The arrangement is this. After a week of playing cat and mouse, Willow agreed to meet with Meraldine face-to-face at the Blue Lobster restaurant. But unbeknownst to Meraldine, Willow has backup. Luca, who is presently blending in by playing guard at the Gilded Brush, but will surely come running if Willow finds themselves in a fight, and me, sitting at a separate table, reading Meraldine's mind while Willow engages her in conversation. This wouldn't be my first time getting that close to Meraldine. Months ago, I was hired as her body double for the debut of Tarek's play, so I learned plenty about how she carries herself. And then, during the investigation into Tarek's murder, I read her mind to confirm her position as a victim. It's not that she's unfamiliar territory to me, it's the context of this moment that It's all about business. with Meraldine Frostroot. And why is that? Well, she wants the good life. And you don't get that by being so soft, by being a little bleeding heart. After a childhood of hardship, little else matters to her beyond the sway of coin. She doesn't really care who wins and who loses, as long as she gets a comfortable life. She'll resort to almost anything. Buying, selling secrets. She does care about one thing, though. Tarek. So much that he's been loaded onto her ship in time for it to set sail. And now he's even awoken from his long, arduous death nap. Second survivor of the Snapdragons. Where was I? Meraldine. She believes her little betrayals won't impact Regalport, nor will they entirely ruin the Sea Dragons. But I didn't think I'd burn down the Snapdragon Theater either. And that is what Willow is also concerned with. That our dear captain is unwittingly biting off more than she can chew. That she might do more damage than she's prepared for. Willow's concern extends not only to Regalport's safety, but hers, which continues to take me off guard. Not that I ever pinned Willow as the type to affix their loyalties to a principality, but my primary theory had been that Willow wanted to plug the leak, not concern themselves with why the hull was leaking. That weeding out a rat for the safety of salvage would be paramount and the troublesome individual disposable. I suppose I may have been projecting. It took some doing, trial and error, but when appealing to her heart didn't work, shocking I know, Willow managed to arrange a future meeting with Meraldine by dangling what she really wanted in front of her, the promise of victory and riches. So in a little over 10 days, we'll be meeting her out at sea, and if all goes according to plan, we might yet buy Meraldine's good behavior. Stranger things have happened.
So...
Sorry. So much intrigue.
Harmonize with me.
Very nice.
Mm-hmm.
Crew.
Welcome back, Zeke.
Hi. We pick up as Willow is exiting the Blue Lobster. Make a perception check.
Sweet. EBGBs. Coming.
I believe in you.
Thank you. Perception.
My face was misguided.
Yeah, you shouldn't have done that.
You are too busy thinking of what comes next. As you leave the establishment, you notice Meraldine wrapping up the minor enchantment that she had hidden under the table to obscure your conversation. Although you didn't say anything outright seditious, you're familiar with this kind of thing where it just sort of muffles the noise. Enough to make eavesdropping difficult.
Mhm.
But otherwise you're undisturbed. And you're able to head off to reconvene at a later time while Meraldine settles up the check.
I believe she just shouted me lunch.
Yeah.
This must be amended.
Mm-hmm.
In time. But for now, I think Willow's going to...
But really, the
it's certainly
biggest
not
of your concerns?
No,
Sorry.
absolutely not. But it is a solvable one. Everything is solvable. Anyway, Willow's definitely not going to head back to salvage.
Mm-hmm.
I do think they're going to do like a lap of Regalport. You already made me roll a perception, but I think they will do a general... you know what? They'll check their umpire's coin.
Mm-hmm.
Just to double check. I do believe Willow would have cast a detect magic before the last meeting, so like how they would have just
notice. Yeah. It was just the minor illusion enchantment. It's like something that she had on a scroll or something that just like muffled the area around the table.
And nothing
so that
at her
people
or angled at me or planted at me.
Yeah. No, just minor enchantments. Like she has nice stuff, but Nothing
Okay.
overly dangerous.
Okay. An umpire's coin, I assume, reveals nothing?
No spells were cast on you.
Cool. I think Willow's gonna do like an innocuous lap around Regalport. Stop at some stalls, probably buy a thing. I'm gonna just spend a copper. Just assume I bought a snack from somewhere. Nothing immediately eatable. Edible even. Honestly, I think Willow's
You
a bit...
buy a candy.
Yes. Or like a bag. Like a bag of Werther's Originals is the only thing that's come to mind.
Sure.
Whatever they're called in everyone. Butterscotch?
Butterscotch, yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, I think Willow's a bit... They have a slight headache. It's either from the conversation or the brief time. I imagine it's like an incredibly sunny seaside day.
Yeah,
And, like,
it's
while
summer,
they...
so...
Yeah, while they did lift their glasses as a flex and look cool and stuff, it's also like... I do think that even the short amount of time might have left them with a headache, or maybe it's just the conversation.
Who could say?
Yeah.
You
Either
have
way,
a
Will needs
headache
to
is
walk
what
off.
you have.
Yeah. It's not like it was an easy conversation.
Yeah. So you're doing your laps.
Yep.
N, could you make a perception check?
Can
Yes.
do.
Guys.
Damn! We're busy. Spying.
Meraldine obviously does not follow Willow out of the establishment, nor do you see anybody else do so. You are able to pay for your meal and comfortably exit, confident that there is no lingering threat here.
Cool. Yeah. and would have left a little bit after Meraldine and Willow,
Mm-hmm.
just to stagger out when everyone
Yep.
is coming and going.
Yep.
Yeah, and we'll probably similarly do a bit of like wandering around Regalport. Find a good transition point to change from their random face number 18 to back to N.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and in that time they probably also just like went in and out of a few shops, just really casual stuff. There is a bit of window shopping they want to do, so they'll probably take the time to do that now since they're here anyway.
Yeah.
But the most notable thing I think they'll get up to, probably after an hour or more of even just wandering around, just to really shake off anything
Mm-hmm.
due to the paranoia that lingers in the back of their brain constantly every day, they'll slip a note to Vise. Like, not even really visit Vise, but they want to slip a note to Vise.
How
As Kai.
do you... Oh, so are you basically like entering the back room
Probably Kai's
and leaving
gonna
a note?
enter and leave a note with like not the intention to stay or chat, but just literally like has a note in hand,
Okay.
coming in, putting it down, and looks like
Okay.
he's ready to go.
Make one more perception check real quick.
Oh. My one eye out.
Mm-hmm.
I told you it'd be worse. I don't control the dice, Har. Shut up.
Do you not?
So, as you are,
Blindly walking into V's office, checking the spelling on my fucking note before I put it down on the table. I
Hold
step
on
in
a
a bear
second.
trap.
Kai, like, how many C's are in suspicion?
If only I had Willow present. They could spell check for me.
Fail in the background, like, I can spell suspicion. Kai, like, stop that.
Yes, you are.
As you put the note down, you hear a little.
Well, Kai will turn and face that noise. Undisturbed.
you see Contact, who is casually leaning up against a bookshelf or something, like a cabinet.
I will pick up the note off the table and put it back in his cloak. An arch and
I
eyebrow.
wasn't
Contact.
aware that you had a blind spot on both sides.
I'd assume this is more a testament to your skills.
Regardless, what a coincidence to find you here.
Indeed. Convenient, he says with an air of suspicion.
I was hoping to ask our mutual friend for another meetup.
Likewise.
Fortuitous, then.
Kai gives a curt nod. Kind of stands there waiting to see if Contact wants to discuss things here or if we should move locale.
This room is as good a place as any to share a little bit of information. Peace is discreet.
Kai gives another small nod, like, yeah, can't argue with that. Needless to say, I did get your letter.
And what do you think?
It's definitely a first step to what I was aiming for.
Let's say we are poisoning a well against that man's influence.
Kai nods. The grip around him is certainly tighter now. More difficult for his denial of the butler to be given grace. Is there anything
And
else?
if he makes a wrong step, we will have him.
Kai
One way
nods.
or another.
I would imagine so, given your name. In that case, I suppose it is my turn.
I believe so.
Find my notes. There was something that I wanted to try and tap into Alonzo Brain for before talking to Contact. Can I do that now? Just briefly.
You certainly can.
Just give it a shot. Yeah, so Ed basically wants to check in with Alonzo Brain to see if there's anything he knows about in terms of like what other methods the Snapdragons use to kidnap people, aside from just I caught you in Alanis's office and now you're going on stage, which I imagine was a bit of an anomaly among their usual behavior.
Yeah. Okay. Make an investigation check with advantage.
Okay. Not intimidation.
Ooh,
Better.
13.
Over
Okay.
10!
Not
Double
bad.
digits!
First double
So-
digit of the session!
Wow, yeah, really. Okay.
It's alright, it's alright.
So, the Snapdragon's usual methods of kidnapping are sort of the usual methods of kidnapping in general, which is to say, lure somebody into a dangerous situation, whether that be a shady job opportunity or an isolated point. Um, and they usually pick people who are in desperate enough situations where their disappearance is not unusual.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like someone who might be pinned as the kind of person to run away from their situation,
Yep.
for example.
Or was in trouble
Yeah.
to the point where it could be perceived to be their other enemies that would do them in.
Mate, you know, like...
Or they're like, I'm about to get a job. I might be away for a long time. Dip.
Right. Mm-hmm. Easy done. Okay. Cool. Thanks, Alonzo. You're a peach. Puts you back in the box.
Squishes peach name.
What's going on in the background? Kai's just standing there. Yeah, so. Kai is going to, like, give one look around the room, basically. I think he might go towards the entrance into the main salon area and just kind of, like, peek out, see who's there, make sure Vise isn't, like, walking back towards the back room, because he kind of just wants it to be the two of them for this conversation.
Yeah. It's around lunchtime, so there's, like, a couple people who are in the salon, like, having little snacks or, like, refreshments as they're talking to their stylists. Vise is actually doing her job today.
Cool, just what I need. Okay. So, I will click the door shut and return back to contact. How's she standing?
I think it's a very cool lean up against, like, a wall or a piece of furniture.
Nice. Kai will kind of come into her space, not invading it, but just like in that this is a private conversation and I'm going to be speaking low, so I'm going to be close while I talk.
Mm-hmm.
The name of the group with which those pins belong to is the Beholders of True Beauty. As far as I understand.
Pretentious.
Okay, like, Kai's face stills, but in that way that, like, I'm restraining from rolling my eyes right now, because that's not my function. As far as I understand, they are a Sharn-based cult, though I'm not certain they would define themselves as such. They are known to kidnap and torture people, killing them in gratuitous theatrical fashion. Tarek Elham's murder is an example. However, the murders I witnessed were done in private, meant for an audience of peers, not the general public. Their ultimate...
Horrifying.
Yeah, Kai gives a nod. Their ultimate goal is unknown, but they find the suffering of others entertaining. They run in upper crust art circles and theater circles, and have members among Sharn's 60 families. And Kai is going to reach into his pocket and pull out a folded note and offer that to Contact, and it's going to contain the names they gave Willow a long while back of the particular 60 family members that and remembers, and other such names.
She takes it and, like, in general, she has this, like, very cool sort of self-contained body language, but you can tell that she is, like, intently reading this.
While she's doing that, Kai's gonna speak again. One operative is within House Fjarlin. However, if the house itself is involved, I can't say.
My. What a dangerous group you've familiarized yourself with. A cult, you say?
Not by choice, I assure you. Yes.
Do you know what it is a cult of, or...
A beholder, if I had to guess, but I can make no concrete statements.
I am unfamiliar with that. But I suppose it is in the name.
She's suggesting she doesn't know what a beholder is?
Yes, she doesn't know what a beholder is.
Gotcha.
Why would she?
Just checking.
Why would anyone?
Damon in the background, like, seriously.
I mean, I don't know.
Strange ass knowledge.
Some people just know fringe knowledge.
Us shaking and nodding, like, we know.
Let me open up Willow's note on beholders to see if there's anything I want to share on that front.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Aberrations.
Yeah.
Dalkior. And avocados.
Yeah, I might say it's an aberration. A creature brought along with the Dalkir during the invasion.
Ah,
Unpleasant.
so ancient Kyber bullshit. Fantastic. Well, I will make sure that our network keeps a close eye on Beckett and any wealthy art patrons from Shan who come a-sniffing.
Yes, Kai is going to reach into his cloak again and pull out the letter that he picked up in Tarek's apartment from Edmund and offer that to contact as well. Edmund Beckett was attempting to take Tarek's play to Sharn and use it as a recruitment tool for these beholders of true beauty. So do be wary of that sort of behavior.
Well, I don't think it will take much persuading for House Thurani to keep an exclusive right to Mr. Elham's works.
At the auction, I noticed Edmund Beckett approach Baron Elar and Lydia. I can't be certain what his goal was, but I wouldn't be surprised if they were targeting Thurani in some way.
Well, they don't lack for ambition, do they?
Kai shrugs one shoulder, like, apparently.
You've more than come through on your end of the bargain. I'm sure we'll keep an eye out.
Kai gives a
For
little
these
nod.
cultists.
And then I will leave it to you. If we're fortunate, they will keep their operations within Sharn.
Here's to hoping. We don't need scum like that out here.
Guy gives a little lowering of his head. It's like a bit of a bow, but not too far. Just more than his usual curt nod.
I think Contact returns the gesture.
Nice.
Game respects game.
Yeah. Yeah.
as they say.
Oh.
Two unreadable
Yeah.
spies.
Both can respect our hustles.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone looking is like, what is this interaction? And subtitles: game respects game.
Yeah. You are free to leave the Visa Visage, having successfully spoken to contact.
Ooh, yeah. Kai will go on his way then. He probably took the letter, the Edmund letter back, but left contact, the information, the names.
Yeah.
Nice. I'm high-fiving you in the background. Good job.
Yeah, so on that note, and we'll probably start making their way back to salvage now.
Did we want to touch base with Luca before? I have something I'd want to do in Regalport, but I don't know what Luca's up to.
He'll just be like doing what Willow told him. All day.
He's gonna chill there and wait for any
until
more
the
trouble to
work
come.
day is over.
Did Luca? But it's closed. Oh, you
It's
mean
closed.
like the Scuttlebutt's work day? Like
Yeah.
other people. I would say, like, did Luca get an impression that what he did was enough? Like to make sure that no one comes back, or does Luca need to go storm the palace, so to speak?
No. Luca, make an
Luca
insight
wouldn't.
check.
I'm joking.
It's not that boy.
Storm the gates with Seeker and Reyes, guy. That's what I'm saying.
Oh man, today's not a good day for rolls.
In that case, I think you do like stick around the entire sort of workday until like 4 or 5 p.m. and then you're like, yeah, nobody's coming.
Yeah. Had to be sure.
Yep.
So I love the image of Lucas standing sentry for that time, like, I wonder if they're coming back. And meanwhile, the other guys like run back to the scuttlebutt, like, we gotta close the case. They got Denise on him. There's a big guy and a huge sword. Thaddeus, we can't go back.
Should have seen the size of his thighs. He could have cracked my head like a melon.
Look at Druin's hired muscle. Who knew the old man would hire muscle?
Anyway. Is there anything you would like to do at the end of the day? After a long period of standing sentry.
Standing. Were you gonna speak?
I assume you like left for lunch and stuff, like you weren't locked in place. But you kept an eye on it. Nobody else came by, so.
Probably brought lunch so I could stay on duty.
Oh my god.
Bodyguard
Yeah,
with a
okay.
sandwich. Honestly, very.
Yeah.
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 He's my lunch bag. Threat.
Seems about right. Anyway, you have successfully guarded the closed down Gilded Brush from any would-be
Irritants.
prying eyes. Yeah.
Is there anything I should do this evening?
Well, you could stop by the temple if you wanted to.
Go see Tug. Go see Tug.
Or you could just head back.
Yeah. I'm leaning towards heading back for now.
Okay. Another day.
Yeah.
Don't see Tug. Don't see Tug.
Okay. Alright. So let's wrap back around to Willow's walkabouts in Regalport.
Mies. I think eventually they're gonna just settle on like a bench somewhere and just sit and think, make sure they're not being spied on. Can I do another perception check? Make sure I'm not being
Yep.
followed in any way.
Yeah.
Perceptione. Yes, above a 10.
You feel pretty confident that there is nobody from the restaurant in your vicinity and nobody who is paying particular attention to you. Like, obviously people will occasionally glance your way, but in like the normal of like, oh, I'm walking this direction and there is a person there.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
But other than that,
well,
all good.
Will is able to sit around and just think about what was said during the appointment, and you know, they brushed their hand against Tarek's poem book. I do think that like I'm sitting on a bench near the sea. It's quiet. I have nothing to do in the afternoon. I should read. They bring it out again. They're going to do the same old thing of like rifling through it and being like, no. But I do think that it's hard not to be here and not think of. Damon's leaving soon, isn't he?
Yeah.
Did he say he was leaving within... He said he was taking passage from Regalport, so is he here again?
Yeah. I believe he left his forwarding address as one of the gold dragons in the area. You know which one, so...
I think Willow's got that, like, jumping leg of, like, should I? I mean, he's leaving soon. When... Yeah, okay, and I'm just gonna, like, hard cut to them at the gold dragon.
Yeah.
Trying to be very, very cool about it. Just asking the front desk. Or is he in the usual room? Does he... No, they won't let me up without...
Nah, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so they're at the front desk.
Yeah.
Asking for Sir Ardentego.
Mm-hmm.
Jumpy leg still happening.
Yeah. We see that, and then we cut to Damon letting you into his room.
Ah.
Assuming this is a room conversation, not an outdoor conversation.
I think Willow will actually just kind of meet him at the door.
Okay.
And like as soon as he opens the door, Willow's going to say, something occurred to me, like before hello.
Yeah?
You never... Brother, you offered to teach me something.
Right, yeah.
Of course, you're
sorry about
leaving.
forgetting for that.
Yeah, it's okay. Busy times. But, I mean, you're leaving soon, so I thought maybe no time like the present? If you're not busy, and now Willow's going to inside check him because they just, like, showed up again. Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm. Let me quickly roll for our man. Damon kind of like glances over his shoulder at like what is presumably his bags and says, "Sure, why not?"
If you're busy, I don't have to, of course. I just don't mean to show up unannounced. I was just in the neighborhood.
Yeah, why not? Grabs a sword and just heads out.
Okay. Should we just go back to the same, like, beach area that we fought on the first time?
Yeah.
Yeah, why not? Okay. As they go, Willow's going to probably just, like, the small talk of, like, how are you going? When are you leaving?
Yeah. Yes.
Did he already book his passage? Because Willow knows
Yes.
where to send him,
Yes.
but he seems
Yeah.
like he knows.
Yes. Damon is, like, small talks with you. Yeah, he's booked passage for, like, late morning, ship bound south to New Throne.
Mm-hmm.
The ship is named the Fairwind. So, if they need to contact him before he ends up in a Gold Dragon and New Throne, well, that's the ship.
How long is the travel for, do you reckon?
Oh, that's a good question. Let me quickly.
Charter a map, good sir! Doing trip planner from
Yeah.
Everon Trip Planner. Can you imagine?
No.
No, like, you can just enter it in Google. Like,
A few
programmers
weeks.
should get on that. A few weeks, damn.
It is a boat.
He's going by pretty fast ship, and it's not that far. But I will. It's like 2-3 weeks, I would say.
Wow. Willow will probably ask how he is for, like, boat travel, like, how he handles it.
Oh, I'm fine as long as I don't stay below deck too much.
Willow sort of suspected that would be the answer. You don't get motion sick? Seasick?
Not really.
Good.
I've got a pretty strong stomach.
Not usual conversation. Until they get to the place, I assume? I don't know if
Yep.
there's any more other things to cover. I think Willow sidesteps the whole, like, farewell party thing because they don't really know yet,
Yeah.
but they know at least that we'll
Yeah.
probably be having, like, a breakfast again, I guess,
Yeah.
on... When did he say he was leaving? What day?
The 4th.
The 4th.
Morning of the
Let
4th.
me write that in my schedule. Morning of the 4th, so... Saying without saying, that means breakfast on the 4th.
Mhm.
Or dinner on... No, we have dinner with Varys on the 3rd, so...
Yep.
Cool, we'll see him off. Willow's not going to say that. Yeah.
Okay. So. Damon also gives you sort of like a bit of an apology that there wasn't enough time to give you proper tutelage
No, Willow
in the ways of the
waves her
sword.
hand. I'm not primarily a swords person anyway. It is good to know.
I guess you're not. Anyway. I imagine
Learned
that
lessons, however. Yes.
imagine we'll catch up again soon enough.
Nod.
Okay.
Let's go to the beach. Beach?
Give me an athletics check.
Yikes!
So we're going to take that as like Damon thoroughly putting you in your place.
Okay, what do you mean
In
by
term-
that?
In terms of like athletic prowess of like using a heavier weapon,
Oh my god.
you are no good at this.
What's he showing me?
Basically he tries to get you to hold his sword, which you
Oh my
cannot.
God. I imagine.
It is so fucking heavy.
Yeah.
You can,
Willow,
you're like barely able to like hold it off the ground.
Yeah. I do imagine he puts it in Willow's hands. Willow has that like moment of like, I can give it a go. And then just like, right into the sand, and like every effort to bring it up, it's like it's like
You're
a
really
shovel.
fighting
just
it.
like move.
Yeah.
Can I use like
Damon's like, okay, we need to work on your arm strength.
trying to see if I have any spells that can help me carry it. No.
Enhance ability would give
considering-
you advantage on strength checks, but
I don't have it equipped, but I am thinking of it now. I was also thinking of catapulting it, but is it large? Is it heavier than 5 pounds?
for sure.
Well, shit. Willow's just standing there like, okay, if I can't carry this with my arms, Maybe I can carry it with magic. I don't have any magic. Maybe enhance ability. I don't have that equipped. And it's just like computing. Eagle is going to say, perhaps a sword more my size?
Damon sort of stifles a laugh and says, yeah, I just wanted to see.
So annoying.
He takes it from you, and it's like ridiculous at how strong he must be to just like take it.
Yeah, I think Willow like whacks him a little bit, like with the back of the hand, like on the shoulder, just because for laughing at them, not the shoulder, wherever they reach on him, like mid, like the
Torso.
just above the elbow.
Yeah.
And we'll take out one of their swords. Probably, I think the one they bought purely to stab him. That was the goal.
Yeah.
Yeah. The conversation they're coming through on is the last one they had at the end of the Dota arc, which was about like Willow whining about not getting to stab him. And Damon being like, "Well, I guess I better teach you how to use your sword," and blah blah blah. So yeah. Thanks for thoroughly humbling me for no goddamn reason with your humongous sword before getting started on sword lessons.
Look, you gotta see where you're working at.
Not there! Willow does laugh though, it is kind of funny.
Yep. Okay. I think instead of doing a spar, Damon is just going to do like stance correction things.
Cool.
So yeah, working on your speed and like the strength of your motions.
I do think that
it's like you're plenty precise, but the issue is more like, can you do this fast enough in a fight?
Yeah. That's fair. I do think that Damon's like his discipline being a bit different. Does he know like the specifics of different swords other than his own?
Yeah.
Oh,
he
cool.
seems proficient with the rapier as well. I mean, he was using it previously.
Nice. I mean, he bungled it with like a nat 1 in the first go, so I wasn't sure if he was just winging it or if he was like trained. But to be fair, it was a busy. I wasn't sure if it was a bungle of inexperience or a bungle of zombies and you sword switch.
Yeah, it was zombies in a closed room, sword switch. There's a cloud of poisonous gas.
Yeah. Oh, you know, those things.
All the extenuating
That old gag.
circumstances.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a whole thing.
Yep.
Anyway, make another athletics check with advantage, since Damon is now helping you.
Marginally better.
You can feel yourself like trying to go through the motions, and Damon is like, "It's alright, I mean, this is first session. I'm not expecting you to pick it up in 20 minutes?"
Willow's got that aggravated, like, I think they're gonna like toss off their jacket in that way of like, go, like, I want to get it in 20 minutes, but they'll either run, like, I feel like they'll either end up like flopping on the sand eventually, or they're going to go until Damon says to stop. Yeah, you know what? I think they're more likely to just plop on the sand first. Just after, because I'm like, a 7 is not that high, and for like, I kind of imagine after some time, like Willow will probably keep going after they've removed their jacket, but then like, I do think that Willow's gonna kind of just like, like kind of roll to their knees and then onto their back and just like lay on the sand.
Yeah. I think what Damon is specifically teaching you is like combos of moves, and like, it's not that you're not memorizing the moves themselves, it's just that your body can't follow through on them yet.
Yeah. No, I do imagine Willow's body kind of like giving out. Like that's a lot of input, and Willow's like
Yeah.
they'll
Think
flop on the sand for a bit just to
yeah.
think.
You pop down on the sand, and Damon comes over and like gives you a ruffle on the head. You'll get it.
I know. They'll get up again. Can I roll one more athletics check, try and get above a 10 to get like one of the combos?
Sure.
I'll go normal. Or is it disadvantage?
Nope. It's still an advantage.
Oh, because he's helping.
Yeah.
You know what? We dodged a 1, and it's higher than 7.
Yeah. You're gradually getting better.
Mm.
It's just like now your muscles are kind of burning a bit from like it's the I've just done like 3 straight rounds of fucking CrossFit or whatever, and my arms are shaking.
Yeah.
Like the rapier is relatively light, but
Relatively compared to the freaking sledgehammer that he's carrying around. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, but you've been doing like lunges and full on things like that, so it's like you're like you can feel the sort of tremble of like this is going to hurt tomorrow. I have slightly overextended myself.
Yes. That hip muscle is just yeah, I do think that Willow will wait for Damon to call it though.
Yeah. I think he says, "Okay, maybe you should take a break for a second."
Okay, Willow says they're waiting for him to call it. I'll keep
Tosses
practicing.
you some water.
Willow would drink. Who knows, maybe next time we meet, I'll be able to stab you properly. Yeah.
Don't sound so excited for it. Might
I
get
made
the
an
wrong
improvement.
impression.
You're always getting the wrong impression. Or rather, I'm always giving the wrong impression. I can't really tell. Both?
Maybe a little bit. I'm not that much better about it.
Willow just makes non-committal noises and drinks water. They don't know how to say you're better, you're worse. They don't have much to work with, actually.
Yeah. I think Damon sits down beside you.
On the sand?
Yeah.
Okay. Willow will sit. They were trying to stand, but yeah. We sit.
Yep. So, heading to Karnath, huh?
Believe so.
Know which place you're stopping off at?
I believe we're heading to Breckenmark. Though I haven't fully refined, but question says a Karlakton is also a place, is it?
Yes, but it's not a port. It's inland.
Yeah, Breckenmark is a port, yeah? Remember,
Yes.
it's on the coast, or near the coast. Yeah, okay, let's carry on.
Damon nods. So. Quite a ways away, but easier than going overland.
Willow kind of gives a little shrug. Guess it depends on how much the sea hates you.
True.
But yes, technically. Should be fine.
You ever been? To Karnath, I mean?
Question to Zeke. I've passed through it, haven't I?
You have.
Damn. That thought just like, I haven't thought of that in ages. And I think that shows on Willow. And they'll nod. Briefly. Pass through. So cold.
Not recently, I imagine. Yeah. Gets pretty extreme out there.
And no. No, I've been salvage bound for, well, 4 or 5 years.
Ah. Well, here's hoping that the last 2 years have treated the place a little bit better.
Willow's going to look at him. What does he mean? Karnath?
Yeah.
They're sort of silently asking for elaboration.
I kind of doubt that the martial law has eased up.
Question to Zeke again. Does he mean since the treaty?
Yes.
Okay. And also, without saying, 4 or 5 from Willow meant the morning, after the morning I've been in salvage.
Yes.
Yeah. But, okay, so he's saying 2 years since the Treaty of Thronehold martial law has probably not eased up?
Yeah. He's saying, like, maybe you can hope that, like, that's the case, but probably not.
Yeah,
I'd recommend taking as much fine food and drink as you can out here, all you can. And rationing is going to be pretty strict once you head in.
Willow's going to offer him some of the candies they got earlier. Like they just remembered them.
Yeah, Damon will take one, crunches it loudly.
I think Willow has probably plopped their jacket over their shoulders again. They don't have their sleeves through it, their arms through it.
Mm-hmm.
They probably like grabbed it while they were getting the candies out of it, the lollies.
Mm-hmm.
Willow's gonna probably ask any more insights that you might have.
On Karnath or in general?
All of the above.
Right, well... Try to follow the rules, I guess.
Willow just groans.
We're doomed.
Yeah. Willow laughs and like puts her head in their hands.
But I'm sure you'll be a quick study. As for insight on other things, he sort of scratches the side of his face. You're probably right about most things regarding the prophecy. What you're not right about yet, you'll figure out as things go on.
I think Willow kind of perks. They weren't expecting him to talk about it. And because their bandana's off, you can see it very clearly from their eyebrows to their ears, like the big, like, oh, you're talking about the prophecy. And I think Willow's going to insight check him now. Oh! Finally. Disregard him rolling a 28 or whatever, but...
He seems a little sheepish.
Why? Like, about what?
about the prophecy in general, it seems. But you can also
No
tell
idea.
that, like, if you want to get any more out of him, Willow, you will have to prod him directly.
Okay, so he hasn't given off what he's sheepish about, per se.
Yeah, yes.
I think Willow's openly, like, obviously he can't see their eyes, but Willow's clearly squinting at him. Any particular passages standing out as accurate?
I think you're on the right track with most things.
He just said that.
That's about all I can say for now. Look, this prophecy is complicated, and it's not necessarily as straightforward in terms of outcomes. Think of it more like a map.
I always do. I was mainly just checking whether I've humiliated myself by adding Willow gestures to him. By making... I've already asked you if your sword sets on fire, so I suppose it's only uphill from here.
Yeah, well... like I said, it's complicated. I'm more familiar with it than most people. And he sort of scuffs the heel of his boot through the sand. Seems a little uncomfortable. I figure that when we first met, it seemed like too much to be a coincidence.
Is he saying he's familiar with like the machinations of fate? Is that what he's trying to say?
I'm afraid I can't answer that in meta.
Oh, right. Oh, wait, the Willow knows words though. Willow's going to ask, do you have some manner of divine guidance yourself?
Not divine. Unless you count the stars, I guess, but...
Celestial guidance, then.
Something like that, yeah. I've been looking for ways to get what I'm after, and, let's say I've run out of conventional means. Listen. You're getting on instinct what a lot of scholars have to spend decades figuring out with calculations. And, I've got friends and, well, acquaintances in pretty high places. But I'm also kind of trying to fast forward through events as best I can.
Willow kind of like folds their arms and sits back, and they seem. I think it'll come through more in their voice, or rather, what they say to him. They're going to mention. Well, if you paid attention to the prophecy, you'll recall. I'm partial to stars.
Yeah, no kidding.
And if you know anything at all about my reputation, prior to the nothingness that I have fallen into since coming here, I'm also a fan of fast forwarding.
Yeah, well. I think this is one of those conversations where I can't explain everything yet. But you're on the right track.
Gonna hold up their hand, and I won't ask you to.
Appreciate it.
Thank you for what you have shared thus far.
Maybe you don't thank me yet.
Willow tips her head at him, as if to ask why, but if it's clearly like I can't tell you, then... Is it clearly another can't tell you?
No, it's not that. He sort of pauses and then... I kind of thought I was dragging you into my story, but guess it's more mutual than that.
Willow kind of searches for an answer and goes, sorry?
Nah, it's fine. I just... figured I would show up earlier than maybe we're supposed to meet.
Who's gonna clap their
Like I
hands together?
said,
I don't know what you mean.
Stuff.
We've met now.
Don't worry about it.
If not for the certain way that everything fell into and out of place, I wouldn't have shown you the prophecy. You wouldn't have been invited back to my boat. I certainly wouldn't have compromised Luca and En's stories in order to assist you. It was unpleasant, but I do think that everything happened as it meant to. I mean, we're talking now.
True. And this prophecy stuff is pretty complicated.
No doubt. I'm not beholden to the prophecy anyway. It's just a good guideline.
He kind of gives you a look with an interesting smile and shakes his head. Some of the people I knew heard you talk like that. Boy, you'd give him a headache. Maybe you'll meet him someday.
Willow gives him a curious little side glance and then like a kind of victorious smile. Like, yeah, I'd give these unknown powers of the of whoever Damon's reporting to, whatever academy of intellectual dragons or giants that he reports to, whatever the hell is happening here. I'll give them a headache. It's hard not to think of Miss Jenkins as well, because didn't she describe me as a headache today?
Yep.
So they're probably just like divination folks. It's a lot to think about. I think Willow's going to sort of like victoriously accept that. Honestly, that feels quite nice after Meryldean's big conversation of like, who are you? You're a nobody. You're an arcane tinkerer in the middle of some, fishing village. And then it's nice to hear Damon be like, I don't know, measure them in a way that doesn't seem entirely negative. Or mean.
I'd say it's pretty positive.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. Will victoriously accept that they would give these people a headache and then add to it. However, I still can't figure out what the rock is for.
Well. I'll explain it when we get there.
I'll figure it out before then.
Want to bet?
I don't know if you've heard about making wagers with Willow Jenkins. I'm not very good at that. My first bet with you was, I think, outright blackmail.
Something like that, but... Hey. You could figure it out what the pebble is for before we meet up again. I'll, answer any one question truthfully.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Willow will nod and offer the hand for a handshake.
And if you don't, Damon takes your hand.
Oh.
You stop buying me lunch.
Willow looks like they're about to pull their hand away.
Kidding.
Yeah, they'll shake.
Pick something else. You choose the condition.
I don't know what my secrets are worth, but I could offer you the same.
Sure. Seems fair.
Perhaps I'll have even more strange and esoteric knowledge before then.
Maybe.
Yeah. Shake hand.
Yeah. Well, it's pretty late in the day now. I should get back to packing.
Let me know. I don't think you will. But if you need any help, or if you need... you know where I live.
Trust me, I'll tell you when I need you. We've got a contract now.
Little nod. They're basically offering to help him pack if he needs it, but if not, then no worries.
I think Damon gives you a little flourishing salute and heads off.
That was a nice combo. That was fine. Willow feels nice. Willow feels fine. That's nice. Sorry, Willow's like, hey, I feel nice after a Damon conversation. Yay!
Okay, you head off.
Yay.
I think we'll move forward to later in the day when everybody has reconvened in salvage.
I assume N would have messaged.
When?
Most
What
likely.
would have you wanted N to message you about?
Oh, like when you're home, or like, hey, when are we meeting up, or something like that.
Yeah, and would have probably sent
How you
a
going?
sent a message with their book, with their far scribe. Like, back in salvage. Where do you want to meet, essentially?
I think Willow will probably say, like, I'll be there soon. Say that they're going to go to the poppy.
Okay.
Or if it's not, if you message me earlier, then, like, I'll be there, you know.
Yeah.
What do you call the dusk? Is it dusk? When the sun is setting?
Yes.
Yeah. Around dusk.
Dusk or twilight.
Yes.
You want to be
Around
fancy.
twilight, perhaps. Yes.
Well, yeah, if Willow is saying we're meeting at the poppy, then and we'll go back to the poppy.
Also, I think because Damon mentioned, like, eat up, you're going to Karnath and it's gonna suck. You're gonna be eating, you know, Ritz crackers and dirt. I think Willow's probably gonna bring back, like, a dish, like a hot dish. Something substantial enough that it's like a tray that I can bring back to the poppy for dinner.
From Regalport? Okay. Sure. Spend 3 silver
Okay.
on a big thing of, like, I don't know. For some reason, the only thing that's coming to my mind is lasagna, but, like,
Me
that's
too!
not-
What the fuck?
Me too. What the hell?
I guess that's what it is then.
I wasn't
What for
thinking
genetic
lasagna
field?
at all. I was
Left
thinking,
out of the
I
loop.
saw this, like, I was thinking that yummy dish I posted in our recipes channel the other day. I don't know if I posted it. It was like, it's like a Middle Eastern thing with, like, meat in the middle and, like, all the vegetables roasted on the outside, and you put, like, dip pita bread in it.
Nice. Okay, yeah, you get that. You get a
did you say
takeaway
3
tray
silver?
of that. Yeah, 3 silver.
Okay.
Family meal for takeaway.
For, like, flatbread and stuff. Yum.
Yeah.
The trip on the ferry smells so good.
Yep.
So I'll show up with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
taking my step.
Yeah, Anne's probably like either sitting at the kitchen table or garden table, depending on where Willow wants to talk. Probably playing with the umpire's coin. I assume there's nothing on it after their 2 encounters today. So now they're just playing with it.
All good.
I'll probably come in through the front, but I'll meet you in the garden.
Yeah, I kind of imagine it out in the garden. Just kind of sitting there with their notebook out and the coin running across their fingers.
That's my insight check to see what En's vibe is before I tell you to come in for dinner while it's hot.
Distracted. I think they don't really notice that you came in to the poppy or are looking out the window at them right now.
I think Willow's going to go into the garden and, like, knock on the door. Excuse me, stupid spy.
And kind of raises their head at a slothful pace and peers over at you. Like they're not surprised by you. But they're...
Oh wait, it's not a sloth, like a sad sloth. It's just a...
No, it's just like...
Lazy.
It's lazy, and they knew you were coming, so they're not surprised by your entrance.
Mhm.
They're just, like, not quick to snap out of their deep thought. Welcome back.
Willow's going to... You
And
as
we'll
well.
stand up.
Before we get into the intrigue, Willow makes an eating gesture.
Yeah, I haven't eaten since the Blue Lobster, so that's welcome.
That old place.
Yeah, have you heard of it?
I was just there today.
Oh, I guess we just missed each other.
Willow's setting up
dishes-
plates.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
the
the
dish is
Pretty-
being...
yeah.
I imagine it's being, like, warmed up in the oven a little bit. Because... Yeah, just to make it sure
Yeah.
it's, like, piping hot and fresh.
I do think... Yeah.
Did Luca come
Willow's
back?
emanating a bit of a chipper vibe.
You should be.
Yeah, is Luca back?
Yeah.
Assume you're helping.
Yeah.
Helping around
Although I
at the
think he
clinic?
probably comes back last.
Mhm.
He is out late, so.
And might inquire towards Willow's vibes. Something good happen?
Oh, I briefly met with Damon, I suppose.
Oh. And that ended up being a good thing?
Yes, for once. I suppose it's promising.
What'd you two talk about?
Prophecy, swords.
Two things he
kinda-
specializes in, and one thing I didn't expect him to. Anything we can know about our next destination? And twinkles their fingers in the vaguely Karnath direction.
Willow
Probably not
pats
the
N on
direction of
back.
Karnath at all.
Willow would like correct your pointing so that you're angled in the correct direction,
And
then
watching you
pat
adjust
on the
their
back.
hand.
Pat you on the back and gesture to the food and say, "Enjoy this while you can."
Yeah, so I've heard. I'll really be starved in more ways than one. Over there. No, I've never seen snow before. Have you?
Only when passing through Karnath.
Oh, so you've been... yeah, I guess if you're going from down, unless you went the other way, you would have... But if you were in Siri, then it makes more... yeah, that makes sense.
Yes.
Unless you
yes,
flew
indeed,
out of
that is
there,
what-
but I kind of assumed that came later.
Don't ruin my nice evening. I'm joking, but also like, stop that.
I mean, you have seen snow elsewhere, I will say. Like,
Where else did I see snow? Siri?
no, in the
Okay.
principalities.
Prince. Oh yes, but where? Oh yeah. I forgot. Sorry, I've been repressing all of my memories, so they're coming back to me slow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't snow in Green Tarn often, like, or heavily, but it can frost over.
I think when Willow's thinking of Karnath snow, they're like big pillowy snow, not like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, we got some frost and it really effed up our workday. Frost root.
You know what I'm
Um,
excited to try? Just diving into a heap of snow and catching a light, seeing what happens.
I want Luca to hear that. I want Luca to interject now.
What are we doing?
Talking about snow.
And's getting a cold
And
and creating hazardous walking conditions.
know.
hazardous living conditions. You'll die. You'll get frostbite all over you.
What if I'm
Yeah,
on
I do
fire?
suppose-
That kind of counteracts the whole frostbite thing, doesn't it?
It really doesn't.
Have
Can I
you
make a
ever been in
medicine
fire? And pause this before they say some more.
I mean,
You know what? I'm proud of myself. I caught myself that time and usually says that shit without
Oh my
realizing
God.
what they're about to say.
Luca makes a face.
You didn't even hear that. You said, have you ever? And then N's gonna stop. Well, I'll try on my own, won't I?
Not if I'm with you.
Oh, you're gonna stop me from catching on fire? Are you gonna be the Karnath law that puts me in jail for... what, looking at someone the wrong way?
I won't have to.
So I take it your threat went well today.
I don't know. What do you think, Willow?
What did my medicine check bring me about N's
Frostbite.
likelihood of dying in the snow as a result of using Armor of Ignis? Armor of...
You don't know how long Armor of Ignis would last, is the question.
What if N just sinks to the bottom of the earth and then they get like caved in with the snow?
That's a
Which
risk I'm
is-
willing to
How
take.
deep? Armor of Ignis can't melt Earth.
No, I know. I was imagining like a big pile of snow, like a leaf pile. Like deceptively deep.
And then you get
N doesn't
stuck,
realize.
and then you get suffocated, and then you die.
Oh my god. Yeah, so my medicine check, I don't know if N survived. What? Who just asked me a question? Luca said, how do I think your day went?
Mm.
I don't know. What do we mean by that?
You seem to be in a good mood.
Wow. Didn't even worry
Can I give you
about it.
advantage? I don't know how I'd give you advantage.
You could tell them,
Say it.
or just
Yeah.
like give them a
How
big
did your-
smile.
How did your lunch go?
Oh, we'll talk about that after dinner.
Okay.
Yes, sit, eat before we go to Karnath and we have to eat dirt and cardboard and books, which luckily I'm already accustomed to.
Luca also makes a worried face.
Luca makes a.
I imagine like
face.
Seeker also walked by in that moment and then like immediately got that look of like guilty puppy dog. Seeing also heard them say that.
People eat food there. Just you have to be a little bit creative with what you have.
You can hunt, can't you, Luca?
Mhm.
Just make our own. And for everything else,
But
there's
you-
snow cones.
You don't. If everyone hunts, then there will be no food left to hunt. So
I imagine there's restrictions out there to prevent that kind of thing from happening
yeah, don't hunt.
at all.
No, it's like poaching is pretty strongly. Anyway, this doesn't matter. You have a good meal right now, and it's not that there's no food in Karnath, it's just that the nice food is very difficult to come by.
Yeah, I imagine we
Probably
like
quite expensive.
chatter about the logistics while we're eating a little bit, just
Yeah.
out of curiosity. But food good here now, so
Yes.
Willow's like, please stop ruining my meal. I brought you a very nice meal. Like it meant, like with their face, they're not saying that out loud, but it's like they're still talking about having no food. Look at it, yum 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 yum.
Yeah. So, you all sit down and eat. It is delicious.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, you're able to have like a little spot of I think Elsa made like a little bit of iced tea. So she like brewed a pot of tea in the morning and like put in sugar and stuff to let it cool throughout the day. So you're able to drink some iced tea out in the garden.
Luca wiggles when he
Cute.
takes his first sip.
Of course he does.
yeah. Are there ice cubes in it?
No, it's just chilled.
Okay.
No ice cubes for you.
I just wanted to do
And
a
the
little
paper
jingle
plates.
jingle against the glass, but I'll just drink it instead.
Kind of shit in the sound.
So I could go
Sorry.
to Karnath for ice cubes, apparently. The one thing I will have there.
You're not wrong.
No, I just don't think Elsa has like
yeah,
a
that's fair.
icebox.
That's
an-
fair.
yeah.
No, ice trays, rather.
Yeah. Like she has a cool box for keeping food fresh, but not like a freezer.
Mm-hmm.
Willow, get on that.
I don't know if Willow has ice magic.
I have
Well
Wait.
then.
Rosalie didn't have ice magic. She was the
No.
Yeah, it's the opposite
Inferno.
of that.
Yes.
Is there like an icy smite?
Mm.
Maybe you'll homebrew one later.
Ooh.
Put some snow on your sword and hit someone with it.
Anyway,
Yeah, so we eat our good food. We have
Mm-hmm.
nice conversation.
and you're able to converse now
Mm.
that dinner has wound down. You're able to catch each other up on the events of the day.
Yeah, and brings out the journal that they were like taking notes in at the Blue Lobster. I imagine while they were eating, they were just casually like writing things down in a notebook with the other hand, which just so happened to be what they were picking up from Meraldine.
Clever. Willow's
Look,
probably
I
going to
can
mention, I hope that scroll didn't get in the way too much.
Is that how she got that? Well, I couldn't really hear what you were saying, but by merit of being in her head, I caught most of her side of the conversation, a little bit of yours, enough context to get an idea of what you were saying.
Will nods, impressed.
In any event, I imagine you're curious about what I might have picked up.
Will nods.
I was only reading her surface thoughts, so don't expect anything groundbreaking. It tends to run concurrently with what she's saying. But there were a few blips that might be of interest. It's going to kind of turn the page of their notebook to the notes they took, which is this kind of series of bullet points, and they're going to start reading them out. And basically stop me if you want to discuss any of these in particular, but there was a mental flinch at money motivates her loyalties. There was a flinch at the mention of the dire sharks. She was startled when you recited the deciphered drop-off dates, or the assumed drop-off dates. She was surprised that you knew about Tarek, his resurrection, and in fact it would appear Tarek is awake now.
Oh.
Tarek is aboard her ship and has regained consciousness, though I didn't pick up any further details. And
Good news.
Willow,
Yeah, and pauses specifically to see if Willow wants to have any input or react or do anything.
Willow perks a little, and it's clear that that one's hit a little different than the others, but they will give you the go-ahead hand of, like, as if it was one of the other points.
And nods. When you were, and as a one-handed air quote, threatening her, she was overclocking your threats with Tarek and so on. She's inclined to believe that due to the break-in, you are actually capable of those kinds of things, though she doesn't have proof to be completely terrorized by you, but enough to be cautious. And she was telling the truth about not having any intention of ruining Regal Port or the Sea Dragons, that her business is business only. That was honest. She was deliberately being antagonistic to see how you would react, essentially. Where she could push you. Though I'm not sure you need a mind reader to tell you that.
Willow sips their tea.
She's noted that you're a tinkerer that managed to get aboard her ship without being noticed, though again, she's inclined to believe your threats of sabotage, being able to sink her ship and whatnot. She showed you her scar as a sort of scare tactic and a way to back up her words. It's a very old injury from when she was a child, and it's basically part of her resolve towards the woman she is now. She couldn't tell what exactly was wrong with your eyes, and gestures to Willow with their pencil.
I
But
think Willow deliberately sort of shies away from Luca. Like, hearing this back, knowing that Luca's listening and is hearing the conversation, like, basically getting a recount from how it turned out, rather than us telling him. Yeah. Having that part of, like, oh yeah, I showed Merlin my eyes, like, it just made them, like, self-aware.
But she appreciates the level playing field of, what's a good way to put it? Like, show me yours, I'll show you mine. She knows she's probably being baited, but it's the offer you made. I'm not entirely clear what you offered her. She didn't ping with anything specific, but it's too good to pass up, whatever it is, according to her anyway. If it's fake, she still has time to find your weakness. Or she can sell whatever you give her to someone else. Either way, she's confident she has a win. And she's generally suspicious towards your kind gestures, trying to figure out what motivates you.
Well, Willow at that point, Willow gestures like, I have plenty of experience with that one. Gestures a little bit at N.
And gives a little smirk and goes back to their book, going over their notes. Yeah, just generally wondering what you want from her by doing all this, but that's kind of it.
Oh, that's plenty.
And nods and snaps their book shut. And give you a copy of my notes, if you'd like.
I think Willow was taking notes while you were talking.
Cool.
And they'll say, I have mine. And I can always ask you.
Works for me. And taps their book on the table, their notebook on the table, and peers towards Luca. How's he looking?
Just thoughtful, sipping his tea.
While writing, Willow's probably going to mention, so that you both know, I did mention to her that we'd meet her at the time of the convocation, rather the day before. 15th, Lavion. She mentioned, are you going to be at the convocation? So she is going. That will be roughly between here and the main continent, so...
Might be passing through that area anyway.
It can be on the way.
What exactly is your plan?
I'm still ironing out the kinks, but I've gotten a few confirmations from this that strengthen my resolve.
Oh, happy to be of service.
Question again, how long does it take to get to the place that the convocation is arguably, probably going to be?
A few days.
A few, 2-3?
Yeah.
Or 2-3 days?
Less than a week.
Less than a week. So we're meeting her on the 14th, and we need to leave by the 11th, latest.
Yeah.
So Willow will mention that to you all. Considering the timeline I set up with her, day before the convocation being the 14th, we will be aiming to leave by the 11th latest.
And gives a nod, but is also glancing towards Luca.
Now his hands are a little bit tighter on his teacup.
I figured we'd be heading out sooner rather than later, so... And shrugs. I'll get my affairs in order.
Willow will add now. Willow's going to tap the pocket that you know that they keep the sending stone in. However, she is still open to correspondence, so if anything comes up or needs to be changed, feel free to let me know. That is directed at Luca.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna inside check him. His freaking strained ass.
I think
I think I have my own problems regarding leaving salvage.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. I
Yeah.
think N is going to also say something that probably contributes to this nat one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
N's going to ask Willow, is that alright with you? If we dally?
You're so funny, and Willow.
So, you try and look at Luca, but then you just get, sort of sideswiped by that comment and realizing, oh god, it's happening.
Yeah. It sure is happening. Here I am talking about the convocation and, being around the convocation as if it's not,
Yeah, and N's
I think-
sitting here
Yeah.
hey, buddy.
Willow's this will definitely affect Luca, and oh yeah? I wonder who else in the room this might affect.
Just spikes the volleyball into your face. Boing.
Whispers, bam! I think Willow's going to. They look that it thuds. Volleyball, the emotional volleyball certainly hits them in the back of the skull. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like a wayward serve.
Yeah.
To speak in volleyball terms.
I will say that N is sitting there relaxed and not with expectation. But they did pose the question.
I think Willow's going to say, I have no intention of being chased out of Greentown. We'll leave when we need to leave. Not a moment sooner.
And gives a shrug.
Drinks tea!
Sips tea.
Well, just keep us posted on what we need to know. And sips their tea.
I guess that means we have to go shopping.
Yep. Need to start buying supplies.
Mm.
I think, yeah, we can probably make the conversation turn to like taking inventory now, and now that it's getting kind of real. It's certainly,
Yeah.
now that Willow's given a date, a set-off date, that's a bit, you know.
Are we...
If
Sorry, continue.
no, just if there is any momentum to this
Yeah. And probably
conversation.
gonna, like, ask things like, how long do you think we're gonna be at sea, and factor that into what they need to pick up, and...
Yeah.
Luca's gonna ask if we can build beds, or do we have to live on the hammocks?
Willow's going to explain the justification for the hammocks, but okay, what is the tangible... Are hammocks just the most useful thing to have on there, or are beds also... I mean, I have a bed, so I mean, what, could I build them beds?
You could build them beds. The reason why hammocks are good is because they move with the ship, so you are less likely to actually fall out with the motion, and you are less likely to, like, feel the motion just because you are, like, moving in harmony with the actual waves.
Willow might
The reason
mention
why
that,
you
like,
have a built-in bed is because, like, you were docked for so long.
Yeah. And also it's kind of like the captain's quarters, there's a bed. But like, I think even Willow would probably be sleeping in the hammocks. So Willow might mention, like, if you are desperate, you could sleep on the bed, though it might be short for you.
Okay.
And
Can
Willow
you
might also...
Can you
What's
make a
the-
bed that hangs from the roof?
You can pad the hammock.
Mattress, hammock, mattress?
Is Luca writing that down?
Question mark? Yeah.
That's the logistics. Willow's going to, like, how long is it going to take us to get to Reckon Mark while Luca figures out, like, how many pillows can a hammock fit in it?
So, shall I take you over to the world map?
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
I imagine we might have a map on
Sure.
hand for this conversation,
Yeah.
so...
I imagine Willow's bringing the map out that I marked up for you guys the first time.
Oh, that's
Yep.
what this is,
Show
so...
you the
look,
direction.
look, yeah.
Yeah, so...
Oh, look, it's Thale lost.
That's what he is, yep.
Yep, right next to Rick and Mark, Thale is lost.
Let's not manifest that, or maybe let's manifest that.
Thalios.
He's already lost. Find him.
Let me.
And look, we're
let me
swinging by
dream.
Wolfred's new home, too.
Don't need it.
We just sail past Dreadhold holding our like,
Wait
little
a
fingers up
minute.
to Wolfred.
Wait a
What?
minute. Is the
What?
storm home the place where the people with the storm mark home?
Yes.
So.
Yeah.
Colton.
Colton doesn't live at
Okay,
Stormhome.
okay, okay.
Colton wants to blow up Stormhome.
Oh, yeah, right. He
Yeah.
was like excoriated or whatever.
Yes. He left.
Good.
Let's put it that way.
Fuck
The
that guy.
part we have to worry about for Colton, not that Luca knows this, is Orthos.
Yeah,
But
it's getting
if
out of
he's at
the,
the
the
convocation,
principality.
then we might be racing him.
Just pass him.
Where is
like Elliot Page and then that other guy, I don't know the name of.
Yeah. Orthos is at, if you look to the top end of the continent to the right. I just realized why Zeke was like,
Oh, right, okay.
yeah, Zeke was like, you've seen the snow. I'm like, huh? Oh, yeah.
On Questacon, my favorite island.
Questor. Okay, so it's roughly 2,200 miles. And the upgraded scrap bucket now has a speed of 96 miles a day.
So 21
Provided-
days-ish. 22 days-ish. 25 days-ish.
So, yes.
Yeah, so about a month.
So, you will want to have, like, at least a month and a half of rations. At the very least. Probably 2 months of, like, stores.
Yeah,
Um,
because we
uh,
might run
just
into
to be safe.
complications.
Or we
Yes.
could plan for stops to
Resupply, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
And
like,
question: where
Yeah.
would our most like suitable stop be along that line? Like a good halfway point that is safe.
so there's this point
Scan
here.
right next to
Scan,
Port Verge
yes.
and
Yeah, I'm assuming you're
Yeah.
not going to Port Verge,
no.
Oh, why not?
Because that's,
because you're going to have the Sea Dragon flag, hopefully.
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh. Oh. I think Varys
that's
might have
another
to be the one
thing.
to point that out
Yeah.
because I don't think Willow's thought
Um,
of their alliances yet.
You might be able to stop, like, here in
Yeah,
Karnath
that's what I
to
was thinking.
resupply.
We might be able to
And
stop.
then-
Yeah.
Near
then
near
carry
where Secret
on.
Elsa grew up.
Yeah.
Aw.
Yeah.
Yeah. That might be nice.
That
So
might
Willow
be
probably
nice.
points out like these points that we could
Stop.
stop. So we're not
Yeah.
walking straight out to your high school being like, so Luca Carlson arrested on site.
Which
And-
brings it up to 266.
But there's a stop there.
Yeah, so if we run into
2660.
some trouble on the way there, then we'll have a place
Yeah.
to duck into,
Mhm.
repair,
Yeah.
resupply if need be. And it won't be in the principalities, so...
If we do need to like stop and repair, is anywhere on the coast available, or do we have to stop at specific places?
You will likely need to stop in various port towns, but you can also make repairs anywhere there's like lumber available. Willow does have that ability.
As
And
long
you
as
will
you
be
have someone to like
bringing...
cut down
Yeah.
trees and shit.
That's
Yeah.
what you're for,
So,
Luca. Get him a
Yeah.
wood-cutting axe before we go.
Are there like port towns along here that aren't like
Marked
on the
yes.
map? Yeah,
Yes.
so
There
everything
are
marked is just
smaller
like
Yeah.
main hubs.
Yeah, these are the bigger places. So like
Yeah.
there will likely be fishing villages aplenty, depending on
Mm.
where you are.
Yeah, it's like how salvage
Um,
isn't on the map.
Yeah.
Yep.
Also, so that Sarah knows, Port Verge is Dire Shark territory, yeah?
Yes.
Why
Yeah,
not just
just
call it
like
like Port Shark or something to make it really
Well,
Why
obvious?
is Regal Port not called Dragon Port?
Because the prince lives there and it is regal. It makes sense.
It's the principalities. Everyone's a prince.
No, but the highest prince.
That's recent.
Don't worry about it.
What?
Conversations.
Turn
that
away
Willow and Luca-
sound. Can you hear there?
A sound is a geographical feature.
Ah,
I hope Luca's asking you all these questions out loud.
he is. Yes.
Mm.
And is going to leave this to you.
I think one other thing Willow would mark up on the map as well.
So a
Is-
sound is refers to an inlet that is deeper than a bight and wider than a fjord.
Oh, that's cute.
Refers to a narrow sea channel or an ocean channel between two landmasses, such as a strait.
Mm-hmm.
Also refers to the lagoon between a barrier island and a mainland.
That's a silly
Um,
name for it.
Words. I think the other thing Willow's going to mark up just instinctively, since Anne brought it up, but I'm not telling you why. The principalities that we're passing.
Yes.
So, I believe from memory, there's Dire Sharks at Port Verge. Orthos is
Yes.
Whisperer territory.
Yes.
Ilmero Castle around there is where's
Yeah.
the place?
Barrelman.
Is the
Barrelman
blood
is-
sails.
Yeah.
Blood Sails
Up
territory.
there.
Yes.
And
Um,
near the
obviously.
Fingerbone Mountains.
Yeah.
Yep. Great. And did I miss any up there on the way past, or is it those three mainly?
Those are the three biggest ones, I would say.
Oh my god,
yeah.
the three sisters.
I love how there's an island just called Lost. If you end up here, you're
It's when you-
fucked.
Yeah. Where are we?
Yep.
Lost. Oh shit.
Who's on first?
Can we not land in Port Diashark if we don't have a sea dragon flag?
Hey, I don't.
Can, but
want
it's
to.
like, why do you want to?
It's
Like, I don't know.
Let's try
But
to
it's
avoid
so
it, Luca. The
close.
last time we had conversations with the dire shark, so we ended on agreeable terms, and let's not jeopardize that by floating on in with...
What's on Stone Spur?
I will say, can I say too? Pragmatically,
guess you
Willow
could
will
be
mention Port Verge is too soon to stop off. If by then we might as well just not be
exactly.
bothered. Like, it's like we're starting our road trip and we stop 2 minutes in.
There's no need to risk it.
Yeah, and I have an elemental in my boat, and
Exactly, that's why it's like maybe we don't float in and jeopardize the peaceful conversation we had last time we met.
What's on Orgalos, if anything interesting?
Orgalos. It's like Orgalos or something, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Orgalos.
I'm reading a piece of paper, and I'm Luca.
Orgalos is my favorite. But okay, fine. What is Orgalos?
Vakadu.
Unnamed principality, probably. There's the settlement of Piritar.
And Trebaz Sinara
Yeah.
is where the Lazar's treasure. Where Lazar's treasure is rumored to be, and I have the map that gets you there safely.
Yeah. Yeah. Stone Spur belongs to the Cold Tide fleet.
And that's the Cold Tide or the Grey Tide?
Grey Tide is elsewhere.
Grey Tide is different.
What's the Cold Tide?
Grey Tide is down.
It's brisk.
South.
Yeah. What's the Cold
the tide's
Tide? I've
chilly.
not heard of them.
That's why.
Yep.
Oh. Is that?
No, that was a diss. That was like because I haven't been contact. I don't know. Willow might know, but I don't. Mim doesn't.
Okay.
They're neighbors to the Blood Sails. So.
Oh.
That's
And
why
they're called Cold Tide.
Hey.
There's
Do
zombies.
you ever ask what Sinbad does, or do you just assume from the name?
He sins badly.
Well.
One could argue.
Anyway, there's a lot of
Yeah.
principalities out there, and we don't necessarily have all of the information on all of them.
Okay. And we can stop on the coast, is
Yes.
what I'm hearing.
Yes.
And you get the impression that Willow, if they're going to touch down on a first like stop-off location, they would prefer it to be in Karnath.
Yes.
If I stop on the Morrowhold, I'll go and
So-
punch Wolfred's dad in the face, and I don't have the time for that. So we're gonna go straight, like either straight there or to Calm Bay or
I
into
feel
that
like
little.
here, yeah, around between. Wait, I can draw these things.
That's
Yeah.
the Moorholes.
in
That's
like
where we're not
this
going.
area. Yeah.
So maybe
Yeah.
in Madstone,
Yes, that's
which
like
surely sounds
halfway.
like a nice place.
Madstone.
I was gonna say Glimmer Gleam River.
That's
that
in
sounds
Moorholes.
cute.
We're not going to
Yeah, but
Moorholes.
it sounds cute.
It does sound cute. You get there and it's just rocks. Dwarves with rocks.
I'm gonna assume because
Con
of the
Bay.
Mirror Lake, it's just got like
Con Bay.
really nice water
Oh,
or like
nice.
crystals in the water, so it looks like a mirror. Oh, we should go.
Suppose so. Willow would probably say Khan Bay because a bay is, at least it's not rocks,
Likely to
Yeah.
have a dock and lumber.
Yeah. And not
Yep.
like wild seas, because it's a bay.
Mhm.
So yeah, okay. All of that chat before I think Willow starts yawning. It's been a long
We
day.
might meet the Cold Mother there.
Huh?
This ghost story Luca told.
Yeah, and looking blankly at Luca. Like they remember the last time
Oh.
you summoned up the name Cold Mother and like slowly looks towards the window, just in case a giant elk is about to crash through it.
Oh my god. I think Willow's going to they're sort of beginning to pack up and they're like, please don't remind me of that before I'm about to walk home.
You want
can stay
company?
here if you want.
I'd prefer to sleep in my own boat. Willow looks at N. I'm gonna insight check N. Is that the you want company of does N need a chat?
Well, there seems like something N would be interested in telling you back on your boat.
Oh. Okay.
Am I allowed in on this conversation, or is this secret spy criminal thing?
You figure it out, Luca.
Oh.
Oh, shucks.
And is not
going on
saying it
here?
aloud, nor are they.
Yeah, what's going on here? Tell me what's going on here. Fuck
And-
you.
ends not saying it out loud or keeping it from you, and just simply asked Willow if they want to walk, if they want company walking home.
Is Luca invited as well? The inside check is? Or is this
And seems not to
a
launch.
lowdown convo?
There's nothing in this
Nothing in this?
about
Mim is asking then.
if Luca can come or not. And just wants to do it on the boat.
Ah, I see.
Oh my god, are we gonna get
Okay.
married?
Oh my. Anyway, Willow's going to nod to N. You can come along. If you'd like.
Me?
And
Well,
shrugs.
Looks like you're walking Willow home. And Willow and Luca having walked down to the lighthouse, where the scrap bucket is now docked. It's been a long time since you've been here.
Hmm.
This is where you guys first met, under much worse circumstances.
Yes. They were here the other day for the prophecy, but at nighttime it's different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got a different vibe. A little more akin to the stormy night we all weathered together.
Wow.
Wedded together rhymes.
Abomination nation. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna let you guys in if you want to stick around for a sec, or if you want to hang out in the front of the boat.
Yeah. And
Is the lighthouse on? Love that visual.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. And might come inside briefly into the cabin. And they're gonna produce an envelope from their pouch. Gonna hold it for a minute and look to Willow. Saw contact today.
Willow nods.
She delivered on her promise and waves the envelope around. So I delivered on mine. I told her pretty much everything important to know about the beholders of true beauty. And if she's as good as her hiding capabilities, then I can trust she'll probably keep a close eye on anyone on my list who might come into Regalport. And that's as much as I could ask for. I wanted Regalport to be safe after all of that, at least from Edmund and his ilk. Seems like she can deliver, and Ed's gonna hand the envelope to Willow.
Oh. What does the envelope say?
You have to open it first.
Okay. Willow seems a bit taken aback. It's weird. They knew that you were going to do that, but it's still kind of surreal to hear it. And I think they're going to need to read it to believe whatever's happening. So they're going to look at it now.
Yes, well, when they open the envelope, an explosion of glitter comes out.
Oh my god.
And goes
There is
all
glitter
over,
all
the inside of the
over.
scrap bucket cabin.
Yep.
Wow.
And
Look
like
at-
standing near the door like they're ready to dip, but they're smiling.
Willow's I just imagine they are completely still until the moment that you see like the huff through the nose with all the like the glitter spray that like comes out from where it just probably shot up their nose because they were so close to their face. It's in their hair. Their skin is like slightly fuzzy. It's in everything.
Yep. You poured
On
glitter
their boat.
on
On their
a
chessboard.
on a fuzzy creature.
That's never coming out.
I'll spare in love and war, Willow Jenkins.
So what do you do?
Ed is ready to run.
Roll a Constitution saving throw.
Okay.
Willow, you see them take out their crossbow, spin it a few times and point it at you, and just to salt the wound, it doesn't take hold. You feel it like past you. I think Zeke described it as like you can feel it like it's going to grab you, but it doesn't.
Yeah.
Or I miss because I got glitter in my eyes.
Yeah.
And just like shuffles out of the way.
What were you trying to cast?
Vortex warp.
Oh my
yeah.
god.
Yeah, so it's like Willow points their crossbow at you, and it's like you get blasted with like this little bit of effect of magic, but you sort of pull away from it, and it sort of dissipates.
Ooh, nice try. The envelope does contain important information, by the way.
No,
Sleep
okay,
well.
Wait,
Looks
no,
like
no,
it.
no, no. Okay, no. Okay, Willow. All right, wait. Can I say that I had one equipped that I don't technically have equipped, but for the sake of this being a low stakes
because
scene,
this is
okay.
Yeah.
Because this is shenanigans.
Yes.
I'm gonna try and shoot you again, though. This time with a large reduce.
Oh god.
Let's do it again.
Constitution save.
It's another one.
That one fails.
Still haven't mastered that one.
The first one misses. Willow like changes some dials, chases like stalks after you, shoots you again, and this time when it snags, big grin on Willow's face, big glittery fucking grin as all of the glitter enters their mouth at this stage because they're smiling, and they turn it all the way down, and you are small.
Yeah.
And like pauses.
And you start shrinking.
And like glances around as everything becomes big.
Yeah.
Look
So,
like a
I believe-
thrust fan.
So you are now a small creature.
How tall am I? How small am I, rather, I guess? Like,
I think you're like 3 feet. The target size is halved in all dimensions, so how tall is N by default?
5'2".
Okay, so that gets
2,
reduced.
6, 7.
Yeah.
Tiny.
Yes, small.
Yeah.
And I imagine you're like scaled down, right? Like
yeah.
Yes.
Free transform.
Yeah.
Aspect ratio maintained. Yeah.
And looks around, looks out the door. Try to catch me now, bitch! Looks out the door.
Willow's gonna pick up a handful of glitter and try and throw it at you.
Make a dexterity check.
What should I make?
Did you
Same?
say bitch? What did you say? Say that again. Say it again, you squeaky bastard.
Catch
What'd
me
you say?
now, bitch!
Oh my. Dexterity flat.
Dexterity check. Yeah, you're aiming for N's armor class.
Oh,
No.
I'm too small.
Sorry.
You've given me an
Just throw
advantage.
more glitter around my room.
Just like a tiny little
Yeah.
patter of feet across the deck and then across the gangplank. Like a fucking gremlin you've released into Salvage.
I'm chasing you. Willow's giving chase. I made your legs shorter so I could chase you.
Yep.
Can I try to hide? Because I got a head start.
Make a stealth check.
Try to dive into a bush. What's the bush equivalent of being at a lighthouse?
There's drops.
Oh my god.
I think on a nat 1 you trip and Willow is able to like
What if I fall in the water?
just I think it's like you trip disembarking from the boat, basically.
Oh, that
You just
step was a bit more than I anticipated.
your little legs are so much shorter than you're used to. Like
Oh, it's been so
you're,
long.
yeah. So
Sorry,
like
Billy.
you fully your like foot gets caught on a step because you were expecting your leg to be a bit longer.
Yeah.
And you just like beef it down the stairs once again. Back to episode 1.
Oh my god.
It's
You
thematic,
just like
at least.
you like fall down into the sand or like whatever. I think no, you're docked in the water. So I think you'd like
That's what I'm saying.
make a dexterity saving throw. You fall straight into the sea.
Well, here's the plonk. But you know
Oh my
what?
God.
I've still got my ring of swimming, so I'm gonna start swimming
Yeah.
away at mock speed.
So freaking audio of me throwing glitter at you, missing, and being like, "Catch me now, bitch!" Well, and then like and splashing into the water. It's so funny.
And I'm gone into the night.
Launch. I'm gonna perceive you. You still rolled shit on stealth, so I'm sure I can see you.
Oh yeah, it's like you failed your dexterity save, so like you are not able to move. You are spluttering and floundering. Like you can swim, you have a swimming speed, but like you did fully just like capsize yourself.
Yes, I'll recover and then I'll swim away.
So I think Willow is able to like sprinkle glitter on you from above, Salt Bay style.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna dive directly into the water.
Yeah.
Wash it off.
I think Willow was about to give chase, and then like now that they've seen you, yeah. I think that they've brought the letter out, and then like they will deposit what remains in it on you while you sputter, and then I'll read the rest now. Like with a tisk, but like, you know, the spell worked. You bumbled and
fell.
Yeah.
So
You're
soaked.
soaked.
I'll leave you there. I know you have a ring of swimming, so like you're not going to drown. So I'll just stand here, lean against my boat, and read.
Yep.
Idiot.
Yeah. It's essentially what Contact gave N earlier. It's reporting on the rumblings in Regal Port's like rich art circles that are growing suspicious of the fact that Edmund let a Nothic, a monster, get that close to him.
You're such a little shit.
I think by the time you're done reading and look up, N is floating on their back in the water, just seeming relaxed.
What's Luca doing, by the way?
He's dusting up the last of the glitter for you.
Luca got out the brush and pan and is trying to
Yeah.
clean up the glitter explosion.
And ends up in the water like, oh yeah, it was hot today. This actually kind of feels nice. I'm just gonna float here.
Yeah.
Like swam out a
Weird
bit and then just started to become a little, what are they called? The little things that bob in the water to mark don't swim out this
buoy?
far. Yeah, a buoy. And it becomes a little buoy.
Yeah,
I was thinking like a little sea otter.
Yeah, essentially.
Oh.
That's essentially it. That's what you catch in doing by the time you're done reading what they gave you.
You know what's
And just in time for the spell to fade.
Yeah.
Because it only lasts a minute.
They seem satisfied, even though they're soaked.
Soaked.
And you know what's funny? Willow's satisfied too, you asshole. It's the note that you gave them and the news that you gave them was actually probably one of the first little moments of like, oh, we did make a change here. Like the thing that I was concerned about after the Warfred appointments, that's actually kind of resolved a little bit. You know, like at the start of it, they're not fully like, oh yeah, everything's better, but like it is certainly like they're on our side. There are secret forces in play, more than just us, and it's working in our favor, and that's nice for now.
Yep.
You know, like I'm sure there are other things that Willow will think, like, you know, what they could do with it, what if, you know, the rat catchers get infected and whatever. But like it's for now registering as a win.
Yeah.
So I think, and then a glitter bomb exploded in my face.
Yeah. But don't worry, your spell had N eat shit on your gangplank
Yes.
and fall into the ocean, so you know, we're all winners today.
Yep.
You know what? I'm covered in glitter. You're floating. It looks fun. I think Willow's going to I don't know if you hear them, but they'll say like through grit teeth, asshole, and take off their jacket and jump in as well.
Cute.
Look, here's another splash outside. I'm covered in fucking glitter, so like I might as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
This is going to be the next 2 months. Lucas says to himself, dusting.
At least.
I might die in Carnath, so
Fuck's sake.
We all might die in Carnath, Luca. We might die at sea. Enjoy it while it lasts.
I wonder if I could prank the both of them.
Already pranked me,
Keep it
you
in
fucking
mind.
asshole.
So cute.
I could win their war out from under them.
Not how it works.
Is
Just
it not?
amplify it.
It really isn't. You can only escalate the conflict.
Unless, Willow says,
Luca comes out and dumps the glitter pile onto the both of you.
I like to imagine also this is seaweed-based glitter, so like we're just
Yeah.
returning it to sea where it
Yeah,
came
yeah.
from.
Oh, how
Yeah.
nice.
Whatever edible glitter is.
Yeah.
I do love the
Some
image
weird
of
little
Luca coming up. Yeah.
sparkly plant
Magic.
based thing.
Yeah,
Luca,
I do make
like
glitter
doing
out
the
of seaweed.
Dustpan sweep.
so.
Yep.
You know, like big, like whoosh over us.
Also catches some hair.
Yeah.
Luca's
some
got
willow
glitter on
hair.
him now. I imagine it blew back a bit, so Luca's now got glitter on him too. You can't clean that up without getting a bit on you too.
A
Yeah.
little bit.
Yeah.
No,
Glitter is
it's
just
properly
like
fucking
that.
putting the boat in the planks now. That will not come out.
Yep,
Yep.
I'm making my mark.
Willow's gonna gesture to Luca to swim if he wants. It's like a come on in kind of gesture.
Wow,
Cannonball,
Luca's
asshole.
feeling
Willow's
shy.
not saying that. Oh.
Luca strips down a little bit as well. Takes off his shirt at least. So you get to see him in his undershirt.
Ooh, tantalizing.
Risque.
Yeah.
Willow just jumped in like clothed.
And jumped in
they
clothes
live
too.
here. We have to walk back.
Yeah, so we spend the
Willow
evening
has towels.
floating around.
That's true.
Having a swam.
Luca dunks
Good.
the both of you with one hand each.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
What a jock.
Asshole.
You have a nice nighttime swim.
Yay.
Let's move on.
Yeah,
But
my
you get
god.
me to
Thanks,
wash
Anne.
my hair.
You're welcome.
Okay. Shall we move on to the next day?
Yeah, should we go
Yeah.
see Valis?
He's coming
Yes.
for dinner.
Yes, but
Is
before
it the
that,
third already?
yes.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah, right? Leaving on the 10th is feeling, or 11th is feeling very close by, huh?
Yep.
Sure is. Early morning, Willow, you get a message from Meraldine via the stone.
Ooh.
The Silver Dancer will make a detour before the convocation. Send your coordinates when you're ready to meet. Until then, you have my regards.
Okay. Willow actually wasn't expecting to hear back from her so soon. That's nice. The Silver Dancer
Yeah.
will be making a detour.
The Silver Dancer has set sail today.
Nice.
Oh.
She's a very swift vessel.
Yeah, so Varys keeps saying, and reliable.
And by swift, I mean she can do 120 miles a day.
Oh shit, how many can I
Oh,
do
wait.
again?
Rub it in.
96.
69.
96.
Close.
So wait, Silver Dancer travels at how much, sorry?
120.
How
Just a
fast
bit
does
above
Rhaegas
yours.
go?
That information is not public knowledge.
Yeah.
That's classified. Need to know basis, ma'am.
Willow would estimate at about 96, but probably closer to 100.
Oh, so we could keep pace with the prince, is what I'm hearing.
It's a big ship as well. It's like a full warship. So
Okay.
you guys got upgraded pretty significantly by that elemental engine.
Yeah,
I sure
how
hope
fast was it
so.
before?
like 12.
I believe it was 72. Yes.
Not too bad.
We're not driving.
That
in
was like
school zone.
your max
But, like,
speed. Yeah.
Max
Is
speed
this
and then
in
master's
miles?
Like,
This is
Yeah.
miles, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Miles to kilometers.
And this is per day, not per hour.
Oh, my
yeah,
god,
that's-
that is tiny.
Yep.
That's like
The ocean
to
is
the
big.
city.
Mm.
Wow.
This is
Sailing ships are
pre-industrial.
not- Yeah.
Technology has come so far.
It really has.
Yeah. Wistful look at the sky. Things exist and stuff. Isn't that fun?
Isn't it nice?
Anyway, anything else you want to do on the 3rd before your dinner party with the Greenleaf family?
Despite himself, I think Luke is going to start taking stock of what stuff they
What all
can take
needs.
from the poppy. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
if anything. And like stuff that he has at the poppy that he would like to continue having. So yeah, that kind of thing.
Yeah. And probably also spend
I'm sure,
some
like,
time.
I'm sure you, like, start arranging with Seeker Elsa about, like, taking things like warm blankets or little amenities like soap and so on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Making
And-
sure you guys have supplies.
Anne's definitely gonna, like, pull out the warm clothes they got from Elsa for their birthday and just, like, look them over again. Think about how they might need these soon.
Yeah.
Like, fold them up nicely to tuck away in their luggage, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Spending a little time in their room, which is generally pretty sparse, but just taking stock of what they have, what they might leave here, what they might take.
Mm-hmm. Willow,
think
what are
waking
you
up
up
to
to today?
I think waking up to Meryldine's message kind of. Willow's gonna start the day with just like, well, first of all, looking at the leftover glitter on my table that's probably now shining in the sunlight.
Yeah.
Yep.
A little bit like the parts that Luca missed, despite his valiant effort to be of assistance. There's
Look,
like
he
there's
stood
only
no
so much
chance.
twinkles.
Yeah.
Yeah. Twinkles like stars in the wooden sky of the floor of my boat. Too bad if I had a rug under the table too. You know what? It's kind of pretty. It's kind of cute, but stuff you. Awesome.
Is there pressure washing in Eberron?
It's alright. It's not. It's. Consider it the ship's first scar.
Yep.
Literally.
Its first combat injury. So I think you sound so proud of yourself, you little asshole. Willow's gonna go look out at the sea. Wish, in their own way, wish the Silver Dancer safe travels.
Mm-hmm.
They hope it doesn't crash or do anything silly.
Mm-hmm.
Since they just woke up to that message. But I do think today, other than like stock take and continuing to look and reason with the fact that they have written out the map for their journey and they are going on it, I think it's a day to work on salvage things, kind of similarly to you guys.
Mm-hmm.
That includes
Yes.
work and something I have promised the Poppy for a while.
Yes. I think today is like a relatively slow day for dock work, so you are able to focus your attention entirely on that project for the Poppy that you've been slowly accumulating. You also managed at one point to like stop by Regalport and get the supplies necessary for everything. So you spent 100 gold in materials to power this little sentry that you are making.
Yeah.
I would
Do
like
I take
you...
the money off now?
Yes, please.
Okay. God damn. Oof. Yep.
Thank you.
I would like you to make 3 Tinker's Tools checks to finish the assembly of this thing. The first check will be for mobility, so Tinker's Tools check.
Can I have repowered up Fish Dog
Sure.
for this? There's something poetic about that, I think. Also mechanic.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Fish Dog making a little friend to help with the Poppy.
Don't know, man. Okay.
teaching.
Yeah. I think Willow's like, obviously they're not disabling the sending stone, so they'll disable their pockets. It's probably a good time to, while they're doing stock take and stuff, to recheck everything in their pockets. And they will set up Fish Dog and get advantage on their Tinker Tools checks, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh.
Ooh, okay. Roll me a d10.
No advantage.
Yo!
Nice.
9. Okay. Good to know. Roll your next check for senses.
Tinker's tool again.
Yep. Okay. Good. Good. And your final check for programming.
My gosh, the advantage on
Roll
that
another
is-
d10.
You rolled a 1, a 2, and another 1, but thanks to advantage, you haven't broken under double digits.
Yep.
Fish dog is a godsend when it comes to that.
Truly, this keeps happening.
Yep. Fish dog is very good at holding
Damn!
things.
Whoa!
No, roll again. You need a different
Roll
number.
again? I thought you said roll
Yeah.
d10.
Yes, as in roll the d10 again.
You can't have the same number.
Oh.
You should just give him an 8 for that. Like,
Roll again. There we go. Turn it upside down and just flip it.
yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, for a second I was like, that's the same number. Oh my god. Wait a minute.
Okay, so you have successfully built a little clockwork dogling with
Yay.
2 enhancements. So it has a vocal resonator, so it has the ability to say rudimentary common words, and it is self-repairing.
Oh,
Gosh.
awesome.
Aw.
What the hell?
Yeah.
That's so cool.
So the d10s, were they rolling like for traits, not necessarily for like higher, better, lower, worse?
Yes, they were just for
Ah.
traits.
Solid.
Oh.
That's so cool.
You can act as a little
Self-repairing, though.
companion for Elsa. It can say rudimentary phrases. And it repairs itself.
Like Luca.
I was literally gonna
Yeah.
say the perfect replacement
Luca's
for
like-
Luca.
Tell it to say I love you.
Can I program in phrases?
Oh my god. So I will describe it too, because this looks a little different to Fish Dog.
Mm-hmm.
So you know how I think when they're next to each other, I kind of imagine like when it's active, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
When it activates, it kind of
alive.
like floats up, and you can clearly see that like it is prototype versus refined product, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Where Fish Dog is just like a kind of brassy ball with the dragon shard polished fins kind of flying around it to keep it up. I think Willow's added little gold cuffs to the. It has the same dragon shard fin thing happening, but they are kind of like dragon shard tipped. However, it looks,
Mhm.
or it's kind of more the same brassy, probably more of a golden color for these
Mhm.
ones, a bit more shiny.
Mhm.
Willow's evidently like
Nicely polished.
yeah, changed up the way it looks. It's keenly more gold. It kind of looks like some of their more new equipment, whereas Fish Dog definitely looks well loved at this stage and got a patina on it. So it has the same kind of screen thing, and it's got the same kind of glow in it that seems to come from Dragon Shard power. I would say like the Dragon Shards on the outside are a bit smaller, so it doesn't look as like clunky, and it
Yeah.
clearly looks like it would take up less space, and it moves more cleanly as a result. Like the little fins, I imagine the gold parts kind of like slice through the air a little bit more. It's not like
Mhm.
pointy, but it is moving more fluidly than I imagine Fish Dog has a kind of like toddlerish like kind of
Yeah.
way it moves, whereas this one is
Mhm.
like very cleanly like whirring, like you can see it whirring very neatly. The divots aren't so openly seen. It's very refined, and Willow looks quite chuffed with it. The fact that it is self-repairing is even better.
Yeah.
And I'd be glad that they managed to all come together.
So I can now show you guys the character sheet for the clockwork
Aw.
dogling. As I have built it.
I see it. Oh my god, baby!
Hey, I see it! Alarm scream, my baby.
Yep.
Sling,
Oh
you can
my
fire a
God.
small pebble at a creature within range. Thank you.
Oh my
Sort of
God,
the
it's gonna-
equivalent of my action strike. My
It's got a
Force strike.
little attack too.
Yeah.
What a
Yeah,
good
but me-
little guy.
clockwork is able to cast the light cantrip. Yes, thank you. Fun fact: the first time that I made Willow Fish Dog do that was back at the lighthouse.
Mhm.
Yeah.
No, wait, I didn't have Fish Dog yet.
You
What was I
did it
doing?
at
Right.
the, I think you did it at the Barrow. That's where I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's like a clear connection between like what this is a prototype for, and evidently what Willow uses
Mhm.
Fish Dog to make,
Yeah.
conceptualize. It can
15
speak
armor, that's
rudimentary
pretty
common.
alright.
Wow.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
bad.
It's
Yeah.
got perception. Does
It does not have.
Does not have
it does not
perception?
have the advanced sensors that Fish Dog has.
Mhm.
But it has.
There it is
has
now.
sight. If you had rolled between, if you had rolled a like minor failure, you would have gotten some programming quirks, some maybe not so good traits to it.
Oh, right.
You did it very successfully, so
Nice. I was like, quirky. I love
Yeah.
quirks.
Quirks
Oh,
aren't
wait,
always
this is
always a good
Yeah.
thing. Rather.
yep.
Wait, no, wait. It says it has a passive perception of 11.
Yeah.
Okay, so it can still
But
sense.
it's not
It still
per-
works as an alarm.
Yes, it can still sense. It just doesn't have proficiency in the perception skill.
Damn. There's no way I can make it do that. Willow's like, wow, that's lovely. Damn, I wish I could make this better.
The artist
Yeah.
dilemma.
Already starts working on a new one.
Yeah. Aw.
You've been spending like a couple months like on and off in your spare time
Mm,
assembling this. So
yeah.
I love him.
yeah. So you are now able to take that to Elsa and present it to her.
I don't know if we'll do that today.
But it is at least complete.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Probably closer to when we're leaving.
Yeah, it makes
Definitely
sense.
made. I think Willow's going to put it in a little case, like a nice little case, so that when I give it, it'll be like a nice present. Powers down.
Yeah.
Screen's more clear. It doesn't have that glitch that Fish Dogs does that looks a little bit like Sparks. It's just like a on and off
Mm-hmm.
rolling light effects, like an RGB keyboard. Oh. It's nice. It's cute.
Yeah.
I love him.
I
Little
was
guy.
expecting a home security system, like little gadgets on the windows. But this is so much cuter.
Right?
Well, the part of the programming is that it will identify the nodding poppy as its home base and protect it as such.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that vibe. Oh, I'm so happy that Elsa's gonna have this on top of it just being an alarm, but just like the rest of it. But we'll get to that when we get to that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just. Okay.
Oh, it's so cute. Thank you.
Anybody
It's
else
fun
got
to
any?
make too.
Yeah. In the
Not
future, you may be able to make more of these. Maybe
Yes.
you won't roll
Oh, yeah.
as well and get some of the fun
some quirky
glitches.
dogs.
A whole army of puppies.
Yeah, I don't
The
think
glitches
there's-
are very fun. I won't tell you
Yeah,
about
no,
them.
I'm
You just
kidding.
have to
We'll
find
find
them.
out on our own.
We'll find out.
Yep.
I don't think there's anything
So,
else
anybody-
Andy's gonna do until
Mhm.
Vera's time. So
Okay.
Yeah, Luca's just doing the usual. Just
Okay.
trying to ignore the fact that the time is coming.
Okay. In that case. Evening comes around. You all head to the Quail to meet up with Varys Greenleaf and his family. Zabella is there with her husband Jake and the 2 young children. They
First time we're meeting
arrive.
them.
Yeah. Well, first time you're meeting Jake,
Yeah,
but you've
that's
met
what I
the
meant.
2 children before and Zabella because she came over when Varys
yeah,
first
yeah.
got picked up.
Yeah, I did mean Jake. So
Yes.
I'm just
Yes.
silly.
Your first time meeting him.
Yeah.
Awkward tense.
you should pretend this is your first time meeting him for your own ego's
Yeah.
sake.
Yeah.
They all greet you warmly as they arrive by carriage. knocking on the door of the Nodding Poppy, and you head down to the Quail together, chit-chatting about this and that. Varys is dressed nicely. I think maybe he's wearing the new jacket that you got him, but it's like not as dressy as possible. It's like just sort of,
Casual
going out clothes.
I think we'd be wearing our party gear.
Yeah,
Yeah.
makes sense.
Probably. I guess Willow might wear their the silk shirt that I wore to Brina's dinner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also comes
Depends
with
if I
you.
just ran here from home. Yes, I was hoping that she would come.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of like friendly sort of chitter chatter of like, oh, how are you doing? How are the kids? Like, it's good to see you again. How's the poppy? La la la. Just a lot of like friendly conversation.
Mhm.
So unless you want to say anything in specific, just assume that you are having a pleasant evening out with the Greenleaf family.
I think Luca would ask what his new job is.
Varys says, I've been given a position at the High Prince's personal shipyard.
Oh.
Wow.
Wow. Oh, that's impressive. Looks at Willow like, yeah, right?
Willow nods like that'll do.
Yeah, and raises their glass for like another toast. Congratulations.
I imagine there'll be much for me to do now, what with the gauntlet that's been thrown down.
I assume you're staying in the docks and not going out searching for treasure.
No, I'm landbound for now, but it will be my responsibility to make sure that the sea dragons have the finest vessels in all the principalities.
And gives an impressed little nod, sips their drink.
What makes the sea dragon ship so special?
I think Varys just kind of laughs.
As if you have to ask.
Luca knows
I
that
think
thing.
We'll go
Willow's
with
probably
amnesia.
going to
Like,
deflect.
yes, I do.
Willow's probably going to deflect and be like, it's sometimes not even just the ship, but the sailors. And as you heard Ryga say, the Lazar principalities have the finest sailors on all of Eberron.
That they do.
Yeah. Willow, right?
And rolls their eyes. Yeah. Last thing Willow is a sea dragon.
Willow looks at you like, say that in front of the sea dragon over here.
And didn't say anything.
Oh, right.
And just rolled their eyes and took a drink.
Mm-hmm. Do you guys mention at all, like, does it come up that you're probably going to be sailing soon yourselves?
Yeah, I think after that.
Probably.
Yeah.
I feel like Luca might bring it up after that, actually, saying that like Willow's a sailor and whatnot.
Yeah. We'll be sailors soon, and one day we'll be good at it.
I can tie
Yeah, I
adequate
think-
knots.
I can pull the ship onto the land.
I might have to give you a few pointer lessons before you set sail. And then, like, a conversation turns and Varys asks, like, have you, like, registered your ship? Like, do you have a flag?
And is literally tying knots at the table while this conversation is going on.
You're tying knots to the table.
At the table. And has like some
Oh.
string and they're practicing their knot tying in a little miniature
Oh.
form.
Yeah.
Because, like, do we need a pirate flag? Are we making our own crew? Is that how this works?
Varys explains, like, no, if you're going to be sailing out and you don't want to run afoul of any other pirates that might be allied with the sea dragons, you might want to have a sea dragon flag to
What if we meet an
advertise.
enemy? Will we get attacked?
Maybe,
Oh.
but that also brings consequences because then if the registration insurance should cover like some compensation for being attacked. It won't buy your boat back, but
Can we have one of every flag and just fly the flag of whoever we're talking to?
that seems
feel
like
like
it
it's a
would be
crime.
very expensive, considering that
Oh.
you have to pay a tithe to fly the flag.
I will say, is it the kind of thing where we can lower the
knows?
flag past certain areas?
Yeah.
Or like replace it with our own?
Yes.
But then we just so we can pay to have it and then like use discretion for when to use it.
Yes.
Like, keep
I
it to
think
save our asses if need be.
Honestly, I think Willow didn't. I don't think Willow thought of it. Willow's not really used to aligning themselves with anyone, but
Anybody?
specifically the sea dragons. Well, hey, I have one alliance, and I think that most of Willow's head has been like how to avoid that inevitability of like being an unmarked elemental vessel. Not like people would know at a glance, but if they ever detected it, going through the area of dire sharks and also Orthos, like the Whisperers territory. And I think that is one of the first times Willow's actually considered flag might be a good idea.
Yeah.
To have it up because, like, the Whisperers arguably won't bother us when we go past Orthos. Hell, I could dock there and get some stuff.
Lies.
Could resupply if you
But-
need to.
Yeah. I mean, somebody else can go get this. Nevertheless, our ship could dock there.
Yes.
Look,
Willow's
seems
obviously
like
thinking
he's
over it.
like outwardly like, oh, this is a really good idea. We should look into that.
Plus, it means that you are less likely to be overcharged on the mainland if you have like a flag at a port of call and your ship is known somewhere and it's not just like some random vessel. I think you get into this discussion with Varys of like sort of the paperwork side of like actually running a ship, with the thing that the captain is good at, responsible for dealing with like ports.
Oh,
You're our
that's what
captain,
the captain does.
and Damon's accountant, so you've really got your paperwork cut out for you.
Willow's the captain. I think we're going to need to vote on that.
It's a vote
We
you'd
could vote
lose.
for Willow anyway.
Wait, are you guys saying this shit out loud?
I mean, if N did, Luca would.
If Luke
I
did,
assume
and
so.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
then
think
probably.
if you guys call Willow captain, they give you a face and like a dismissive hand of like, don't call me captain.
wasn't planning on it, but I will leave you in charge of the captain-y things.
Captain business.
The ship.
Okay, Willow didn't say that out loud, but I assume it and delivers that anyway.
Yes,
Um,
can infer from
yeah.
your gestures.
Yeah.
I could be the captain.
No.
Oh.
Sorry. Consider it a captainless vessel. I wasn't ever considering it being a sea dragon vessel, but you've raised some good points.
We could just take a flag and fly it when we need
I would not advise that.
it.
At least not the taking it part, but certainly fly it when you need to.
We can get one legally and fly it when we need to. Be.
Require one through
Huh?
the proper channels.
There you go.
Do we have to ask the High Prince for a
No,
meeting?
you just go to the port authority.
Excuse me, Mr. Ryger, can I please have a flag?
Yeah.
Every schmuck who wanted a flag had to talk to Ryger.
You wouldn't
Well, I
get
don't know.
anything done.
I don't know how many people want to talk to the High Prince.
Just assume a
Everybody
lot.
wants to talk to the High
Okay.
Prince.
Do they?
Assume our particular invitation to meet with him was a special case.
You say that, and Willow looks a little bit towards Jake and Isabella, like, I don't know if they know about that, and I don't know if they should know about that.
Varys gives you the "it's okay" gesture.
Okay.
Luca makes a face. He owes us a favor. Do you think he'd give us his boat?
Keep dreaming, big
If you
guy.
wanted to book passage on it, perhaps.
If we
Do
ever
that?
wanted the Dragon Eye, we'd have to steal it fair and square.
That's not fair or square.
You're in Pirate Town, Luca.
Yeah. Why did you decide to live here? Looks at Elsa like, why are we in the central place of stealing?
Elsa kind of laughs. Regalport's not so bad.
If you're not the one being stolen from. Looks at Willow.
Willow looks back at him.
And
But yeah,
eats their
so-
food.
Yeah.
So, Varys gives you advice on how to set up the scrap bucket for travel.
Officially.
Mm.
Yes.
Without breaking the law. Maybe.
Hmm.
The law depends on where you are and who has power.
Yeah.
We just came out of, like, you asked Elsa, like, why would you come here? And I'm like, you can't, there was a war.
It's
What's
very obvious
stealing
reasons.
compared to mass death? But no one wants to bring that up at the dinner table because that's fucking gloomy as shit.
He was being silly.
You're a silly little guy. No, I'm joking too. Like, I'm poking fun.
Yeah.
Is Luca gonna be a nosy little bugger about Ryger at all?
Well,
Maybe not
mean,
yet.
Not in front of Isabella.
no.
Yeah, cool.
Okay. I think in that case, like, you all have a very pleasant meal, and then, like, the kids start getting very sleepy. Because
Sorry, I will ask.
Yeah?
What are they like? Isabella and Jake? Like, what are
they're like
conversations with them like?
they're like friendly and normal. It's like very much like the kind of people that you would meet in and around Salvage.
Mm.
They're carpenter, Willow.
No, like, I'm sure Jake would tell us where he's been, like what his
Yeah.
merchanting was.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Enough to-
Jake is like a fisher by trade, so but like deep sea fishing. So he's often
No.
out on the sea.
Like, we'll ask
Doing
what's the
that sort
difference
of
between
thing.
sea fishing and regular fishing.
Yeah. And Isabella is a stay-at-home mum, largely. Like, she does odd jobs now and then in the community.
Mm.
Jake actually took his wife's name because he was an orphan.
Oh,
So
Jake.
now he's a Greenleaf.
Aw.
Oh, I was wondering why they were the Greenleaf residents. Oh,
It's a good,
Yeah.
strong name. Full of leaves
Yeah.
full of
Yeah.
color.
and trees.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah.
I love
I
them.
think, yeah, they're just like a pleasant little family.
Yeah.
I'll shout their dinner.
Yeah. Okay. So that's dinner for like 10 people. Spend
You guys can help me, maybe.
Yes,
we'll
we can
pitch in.
help.
As long as they're not paying, like we invited them.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
Spend like, oh boy, like 5 gold?
We'll do 2, you do 1, Willow.
No. I'll do 2.
I'll rock, paper, scissors you for the 1.
I'm not. It's fine.
And
Oh, N?
And
Yeah.
Sure, okay.
I got a 5.
That's scissors.
Yeah.
Roll a d6.
I know, I'm trying to find my dice.
And pulling pocket knives out of their pocket. Oh,
Oh, that's paper.
That's paper. So you get
I
the two, Luca.
Yeah.
Take the one.
Okay.
Fine by me.
So yeah, you pay for dinner. Jake and Zabella head off early, carrying their 2 children in their arms. They're still quite young. I think they're like 2 and 4. They're definitely under 6.
you
Luca was
mentioned
probably
them
helping-
going.
School.
helping feed.
First day of school.
Yeah, heading
so-
heading on to
Yeah.
school age. And I remember Zabella
Yeah.
once was taking them to school, but it could have been preschool.
Yeah.
Yeah, enough to latch around Varys's ankle that one time. An image that has never left my mind.
Yep.
So cute.
Yeah.
What was Luca saying? Sorry.
Oh, Luca probably would have helped feeding one of the kids.
Oh, of course.
Very domestic of
On
you.
your leg.
Yeah.
Definitely did the lifts you up
Mm.
Mhm.
so you can fly a little bit.
Yeah. You say Uncle Luca.
I don't think you're
You haven't earned uncle status yet, but
no. It's like they say, "You're not my uncle. Varys is my uncle."
Luca shot through the heart.
Yeah. Luca collapses but still holds the baby up carefully.
Oh my god.
and cringes from across the table, like, oh, cold-blooded.
I've just witnessed a murder.
Yeah.
The very insistent way that small children can be.
Yeah. No. You're a
Yes.
stranger to me.
Anyway.
I think Willow might suggest that Varys is probably talking all boat stuff anyway. So it would be we could probably have this conversation at the boat if you wanted.
Varys will accept the parents go home. Varys lingers on.
Bring a
mm.
bottle of gin back to the boat.
Yeah. Is Willow planning to
Probably
go
not, but
alone? Does they vibe like they want to go have a walk alone time with Varys? And we should head out.
is it all together?
I don't mind you guys popping in for a bit. I mean, even Elsa could pop along if she wants. But
I think Elsa will
do-
probably head home.
Yeah. Yeah, I imagined her kind of heading home with the other green leaves.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Do you reckon?
Yeah.
I don't know. See, Willow definitely would talk to Varys about private stuff if you guys didn't come, but they're not going to kick you guys out, so you guys can pop
Mhm.
along and then maybe leave earlier. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, we can have our cake and eat it too.
Oh, Willow's probably going to mention to him though, if
Mhm.
especially once they get outside, and he starts walking towards the docks, that their boat, my boat is currently docked at the lighthouse, actually.
Oh. Huh. Slightly longer walk, but sure.
I'm going to inside check him.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, I'll roll flat. Oh shit, I rolled so well.
19. We'll take the 19.
You sure? Okay.
Yeah.
What's his vibe?
A little surprised, a little nervous, but
Oh my
Yeah.
god. He thinks we're gonna murder him.
no,
Sorry. The
dumbass.
lighthouse where his lover used to live.
Oh.
He used to visit him all the time, and also the
gonna murder
lighthouse
him
where he was-
emotionally.
No, it's what marked the loss of everything. for him.
Yeah.
For
That's why I
6
said murder
years.
him emotionally.
Yeah, okay, just making sure that you know.
It took me a minute, but I
Okay.
got there.
It's cool. You have amnesia.
Yeah.
Does Varys seem well enough to do that? Or is Willow
Yeah.
going to have to offer to bring their boat around?
No.
Well, he
I
did
think
take me there once before. It's just
Yeah.
approaching it from land, I'm sure, is different.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Varys steals himself, and you walk down to the lighthouse.
Okay. You guys talking about shit in the way back?
Probably. Literally.
Okay.
Shooting
What?
the shit. is what
Just
I mean.
talking shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just chatter, chatter, chatter. I think there's like a little moment where you see, like, as you approach the lighthouse and like the light sort of washes over inland. There's a little moment where Varys's breath hitches, but he continues on.
I'm so proud of you, Mr. Greenleaf.
Something in the conversation, I imagine, inspires Anne to punch Varys in the arm as, like, they're walking. Kind of after that moment of passing the threshold, as if Anne is kind of almost
Yeah.
deliberately trying to knock off the tension. It's already ebbing, but it's just like, they're not saying it, it's part of the conversation, but it's just basically a congratulations punch to your arm, but it's being masked under whatever shitty little conversation we're having right now.
Yeah.
Probably something about Varys' sword training and getting buff or something.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be buff to lift
Ooh.
the ship parts.
I think Willow went quiet around that threshold too, just to kind of like keep an ear out in case it was going to be like a turn back, abort, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But thank you, N, for bumping in with the stuff, and Luca for continuing with your goofs, because Willow went quiet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's a heavy.
You head in and
Carefully steps onto the gangplank on the way onto the boat today.
mm-hmm.
Willow's going to mention, pardon the mess and the glitter. Had a pest in here yesterday.
So you tried to attack it with glitter?
Varys gives a curious look.
Willow nods at N.
And is innocently playing with a gold coin.
Okay.
I think the room, it's not messy, but I do think that Willow's
Yeah.
got the little map of Corvair up.
Yeah.
Little stacks of stuff around. They'll probably they'll probably rearrange the table again because it still has the chessboard and all that on it.
Yeah.
Um,
I can imagine Luca just like immediately setting up to make some tea for you all.
Yeah.
Nightcap.
But without the alcohol? Nightcaps are alcoholic, right?
Doesn't have to be.
Okay.
Anyway. Yeah, Varys looks over the charts and
Luca asks if there are any routes we could take that are better. He would know.
yeah.
Willow
Is it
undermined on their
safe?
own fucking boat.
Well, you haven't been sailing in a while. You've been salvage bound.
I still know the routes. Anyway, Willow will gesture to Varys. They're going to still appreciate his insights, just not just like this the worst or what.
Yeah.
Well, you're not the worst on the
think-
boat, but like,
Yeah.
you may as well get
God.
the two good minds together.
Yeah, I think there's like we see some like casual conversation as you guys are like winding down from the dinner. Varys pointing out like likely stops along the way. He might mention a village on the or like a small port town on the north coast of Karnath, here or there. By name, I don't have the names yet. We will get there when we get there.
The one that Varys pointed out will hold in my heart.
Yeah.
Small port
Yes.
town.
Yes. So yeah. I think eventually you all are about ready to go. I think Anne and Luca, you get the vibe that like Willow would like to wrap up for the night.
Yeah. Then we'll start.
I think I'll
backing
actually
Mhm.
ask you guys like directly, like basically to say I would like the captain's eye on the You know. Willow's gonna gesture, point downstairs.
Yeah,
Goldfish.
better make sure it's
The
not
goldfish.
covered in glitter too. You know, things get into the cracks. Even an arcane lock can't keep that little pest
Goldfish.
out.
Yes, watch the gangplank on your way out, Willow says, beginning to push you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And
Oh,
is saying
speaking
this
of
while packing up and like sliding their way out.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of goldfish, does the High Prince have a wife?
No?
Hmm.
Where did that come from?
I thought maybe his special announcement would be that he was going to have a baby.
No.
Oh.
Varys, chuckles and shakes his head. No, the, Ryger's not really romantically inclined.
No time for such things when you run a nation.
Less so that and more... It isn't in his nature to seek out such companionship.
Oh,
He has plenty of friends and loved ones.
Some people are just like that.
yeah. As long as he has people that he can trust.
Aye.
got-
suppose.
He's got assassins. I think he's good.
That's not a
Willow,
happy
just-
thing to have.
Willow gestures. I believe we know one of them quite personally. Adds Varys.
That's the joke.
Are you an assassin?
Well, he wouldn't tell you if he
No.
was.
Willow still. I feel like this whole convo. Willow pause to look
Yeah.
at Luca like, you are not asking if Ryger's having a baby right now as I'm pushing Anne out the door and it's like we're just halted here with Anne like leaning back against my hands.
Yeah. But Ed will try to show Luca out before he asks any more questions.
Willow just pleadingly like, please take him home.
Alright, big
Please
guy.
get this
doesn't
man
need-
off my ship.
I think you've had one too many. Let's go show you to Elsa and see what she thinks.
You have to stop asking that question, Luca.
Well, now I know, so I
Now
can.
you know. Yes.
Yeah. I thought
Waved
you would
guys on.
appreciate my curiosity.
I suppose. Yes, the romantic interests of, or the lack of romantic interests of the High Prince are definitely something I'm interested in.
Yeah.
Good night.
Night, Willow. Good night,
Good night,
Captain.
Anne.
Good night, Varys. Good night, Willow.
It gives you the thank you asshole look.
And smiles and with her hand on Luca's arm to make sure he doesn't stop to ask another question.
He
Sees
stops
themselves
at the dock and turns around and waves with both hands big up in the air.
Question. Can I send them home with Dogling? Can Dogling take up its
Oh, you
role
should.
without
You
me
should.
being there?
Should be the one to
Um,
put it in place.
I just want to. Would that work?
It might be better to do a system check at the place, just to
Okay.
make sure everything is correct.
Okay. Got you.
So, those two head off. Varys heads down into the scrap bucket with you.
Oh, before you guys left, Willow would have told you as well that Damon tomorrow morning. And you know what? Quick aside. I think Willow might have actually responded to Meraldine when I said that they were quietly wishing it good, safe travel.
Yes.
I think they actually responded and said like the fair winds and following seas, Captain Frost Root, one of those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Cool. As an aside, just remembered that like much later. Anyway, speaking of the Silver Dancer, Varys is down there. He is not. He doesn't have access to the room.
So you have to open the
So
door for
I'll go
him.
open it. Yeah, and did mention the arcane lock. I imagine it gives a cool little glow when I open it.
Yeah.
Like there's that big circle sheen when it's like shing, and then like I open the door.
Varys admires the room and says, "You've made some upgrades since I was last here." Greets the elemental as it courses through the arcane matrix embedded within the heart of the strap bucket.
Varys can communicate with the elemental, right?
Yes, he can speak
Yeah.
the language.
Yeah, imagine it also pulses like with a little light when he talks to it, which is nice.
Yeah.
I wonder, Mim is asking, could he teach N how to be more proficient in speaking to the elemental?
The
Or
main
N's
thing,
is like arcane. Sorry.
Ends is like literally just a persuasion check
Right.
via psychic communication.
Yeah, and it's kind of talking to it directly rather than needing to use its language. That's kind of what makes it special.
Right, yes. I forgot how you talked to it, but no, that makes sense. That's why I was like, raw arcane something or other.
I appreciate the
As
thought.
opposed to the language.
Bit
No, I
of
think the
brain
one more
bagel
likely to
fish.
learn. The more likely to learn the language is like me.
Yeah.
Anyway. What kind of alterations did I make to it since last he saw?
I imagine that you've just been tinkering and also the arcane lock.
Yes. Okay.
It's just like making sure. I imagine that like once or twice you just had to do like a little bit of fine tuning, that sort of thing. It's one of those things where it's like you're constantly like fiddling with the settings to make sure that it's optimal.
Yeah, I think Willow's going to gesture a little bit to it and say, "You will probably want to be intimately familiar with this for the months upcoming. Years, I suppose."
Hi, you're right about that.
Though I suppose, within reason. They might question why you have an artificer's knowledge.
Well, I have been away for a long time, and Ryger has allowed me a certain degree of discretion as to my long absence. I was a castaway for a while. Basically, basically Varys is not obliged to tell everybody. I was cursed by a hag for 6 years.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, so he could say he went... Okay, Willow might mention... So in that time, perhaps you familiarized yourself somehow. You found
It is certainly possible.
an ancient text that surprisingly had exactly what you needed to know about the precise workings of a homemade elemental.
Certainly knowing the principles of it wouldn't hurt, though I doubt I could learn that much in a short amount of time. And there will be other experts, but it will be good to be familiar with it.
I think it's most ideal if you're at the top of your class. If you can make time for it, we aren't leaving until the 11th latest. If
That
your mind
late,
is still
eh?
sharp. We'll finish what they're saying. If you are willing and your mind is still sharp, you can study this place. I can give you my notes. And yes,
I like
that late.
He nods and breathes deeply. Looks at the elemental. His light is the gentle blue glow of it playing over his face. At the beginning of the year, it's incredible how much can happen in only 6 months, isn't it?
Willow nods.
He turns to face you. Thank you. For everything.
You're going to have to record that to a songbird and play it, because I swear you say it every single time we meet.
If I said it every day of my life until the end of the universe, I don't think it would be enough to convey how
Varys!
grateful I am
grabs
to
their
you.
head and walks out the room.
Varys laughs and like, oh, don't be so modest, Willow
Not
Jenkins.
modest. You're so mushy.
Oh, come here, you.
Nah, Willow's gonna leave behind the workshop table.
And I think Varys just like pulls you into a big
Oh
hug.
my god. Willow, after accepting a squishy hug for a bit, Willow's going to probably mention, if you're quite finished, we could start lessons now.
Yeah. All right.
Is he crying? What the fuck? Yeah. Is he emotional?
Yeah. Idiot.
Tucked in,
Willow-
people like feeling things around you.
Oh my god, it's so rough.
Varys is a
Willow
little bit
needs to-
teary.
Screams, pukes. Okay, I think it's the kind of like, I hear you getting emotional. I am going to get emotional. Can we get some stuff out the way first? Before it dwindles away, but I don't know if Willow's going to be able to outrun it. I do think Willow has to pull away though, just a bit, just so it's not like
Yeah.
immediate, like. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
So I do think that Willow's like says what they say, which is a bit cold. Not cold, but it certainly isn't meeting Varys on that level of warmth.
Yep.
I think while Willow is like beginning to set up to basically point out like the what do you call them? I'll call them pipes for now because I can't remember the word, but
Mhm.
like the thing that carries the elemental power throughout.
Yes. The conduits, I think.
Conduits, yes.
Or it's the elemental
Willow-
matrix.
Is that the matrix? Oh yeah, every part of that is the matrix, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Willow's clearly facing the wall before they get like. Willow's just facing the wall.
Mm-hmm.
Gestures at it. So you probably know all about this. Clearly, like, struggling.
Yeah. I think, like, Varys got a little teary and, like, a little choked up, but he's sort of wiped his face and is trying to retain his composure since you're...
Who is also trying to retain their composure.
Yeah. Make an Arcana check to start conveying the principles to Varys in a way that he can understand.
Okay.
Decent. You're struggling a little bit. Sometimes you drift into jargon, and he has to say, "I don't know what that is."
I think one of the things that's going to happen is Willow's explaining, and then they'll be like, this differs from a much larger ship. And then they'll start kind of rewording, like, basically they're using their ship as an example of, like,
Yeah.
the the knowledge that they do have, everything that they do have comes from a much larger ship.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of where they start, like, petering off a bit, where it's like the information isn't as helpful. They start stammering.
Yeah.
I think after a while, Willow goes a bit quiet. And then we'll, while still facing the wall, say, I can't believe they're going to be here within the week.
Is there? I suppose there's not anything I can do to help.
You said it yourself. Past 6 months. That's all the help. That's the only reason I'm leaving at all.
Aris comes up to you and puts a warm hand on the back of your shoulder.
I don't need to tell you. Turning point was on this ship. Boat. Scrap bucket. It's not lost on me that I am being offered such an opportunity, and I still have to leave. Just when it seems that everything is converging.
It's a hard choice you have to make.
Hmm. Don't think it really knows what to say, but
Think Varys says after pause. Have you figured it out yet? What it is you want?
well, it shrugs. Not in a neat sentence. Don't know that I can listen to wants what I want. I want to see her again. It's a petty want compared to everything else. Of course, I want to go home and I want to help everybody. But I do miss the Storm Chaser.
Varys gives you a sympathetic look. Even petty wants are worthwhile. They might not be as petty as you think they are.
Well, I know it's not going to downplay the feeling of missing a ship that means a lot to you if you're to Captain Varys Greenleaf,
Mhm,
former captain of the Silver Dancer,
mhm.
that I just waved off today in Sending Stone. Really nods though. Like it's nice to know that he gets it.
Mhm.
I think from there they will probably mention, now that is an elemental vehicle.
If you're willing, tell me about her.
I think that is probably all of the invitation Willow needs. They'll hesitate for a bit and then like like all of
Yeah.
the storm chaser knowledge comes out. They'll probably end up showing Varys the tattoo on their shoulder as well, the one they were about to
Mhm.
write down in a notebook for him before deciding to just tell him in person.
Yeah.
It's somewhat lesson as well, but it is a lot of just like description. I feel like Willow's
Yeah.
wording isn't fantastic too, so it's like you should see the elemental ring. It's bright and like big. I'm not good at this. Like, I mean, I'm not a poet. It's just it is. You'll see
Yeah.
it. And then like just like blah, 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 just, like,
Yeah. I think we
Yeah.
just like sort of the camera like pans over as like you and Varys sit together in like partly in the elemental engine room, partly in your workshop, and you just are able to express all of your love and memories of the ship that was your home for a while. The ship that meant a lot to you. Still does. Varys just listens to you.
I think as well, like Willow begins to touch on not just the ship, but like the way it was seized.
Yeah.
And like that story gets a bit like they will probably stop a little bit into it and like redirect, but like clearly that is an exciting story for them.
Yeah.
They probably won't begin to tell it too much, but just like they do mention like the moment it was stolen.
Yeah. The moment it became the Storm Chaser.
Indeed.
I think it's just a peaceful moment where you can express this part of your heart that hasn't had an outlet for a very long time to somebody who can appreciate the scope of what it means to love a ship the way that most people love their homes or their family.
Yeah. Does Varys go home?
I think
I
he
might
might
talk his ear off.
I think he might stay the night.
Yeah. Cute.
Takes up a spot in the hammock as you
Willow will.
when you realize how late the night has gotten.
Unless he falls asleep while Willow is talking to them.
Nah.
I imagine Willow could talk all night, but like, you know, there's the Willow would probably offer to him first the bed.
He'll sleep in the hammock. It's fine.
Okay. Hammock it is.